Everything from overlanding in your stock rig to full-on LS-powered 2 buggies on stickies. This is the Total Off-Road Podcast. I'm Steve.
And I'm Ian, and we are here with episode number 48.
Woohoo!
Woot woot.
We're so close to 50.
50.
Yeah.
Why you pick up a knife? Like, we start this, and you just pick up a knife. You put down a pen and pick up a knife.
Stickers got me feeling kind of like, well, shank your ass.
I love it. I'm going to shank your ass.
I'll put it down. Put it down.
Thank you. Now I'm a little bit more...
Feel better?
Yeah, I'm at peace with myself, man. Oh, man. So you said you did things this week.
I did do things this week.
Let's hear the things you did.
So last week when we talked about low key and what was going on with it, I was telling you guys I wanted to get the differential apart, but I just didn't have time. Had some polishing going on. So last weekend I yanked it apart and I scoped it out. It's fine. I'll edit that out.
You're just
these damn guests. I'll tell you what.
I tried to
keep it down over there. You've not been introduced yet.
Here.
I digress.
You just sit over there and shut the fuck up.
And take your microphone back over here so we're not listening. Anyway. Oh.
Okay, we're back at it.
Okay. Sorry. So anyway, I took the 9-inch apart. I pulled everything apart. Pulled the Brian Mize.
Okay.
Yep. Had everything apart. Had all the bolts out of it. Just trying to pull the hogshead out and it won't come out. I'm like, what is this thing hung up on? Oh, the axle shafts are still in it.
I mean, I did. Did I tell you that I did the same thing when I was welding the spool in the rear? I was like, oh, fuck, I'll just knock this out. I put a pan under it, pulled the diff cover, drained the fluid, popped the bearing caps, and was like, this thing is stuck as oh, yeah, there's axle shafts in there. She's like, oh, yeah.
Nice.
It happens.
Yep, that's what happened to me. I was sitting there trying to pull it out, and I've got like a little pry bar underneath it, and I'm trying to like wiggle it out. And I know it's the housing is stiff on there anyway.
Yeah.
Like to get it pulled off, I put it on with a mallet. So like probably with a dead blow.
I don't like the word mallet.
Okay, a dead blow, hammer.
It just seems
plastic dead blow.
Cartoonish to me. Oh, I used a mallet.
Like, it's like one of those wooden ones with the end all exploded out.
Like, it's a fucking croquet mallet, bro. Like, put it back in your golf set and like, let's go pick up the tools.
Job. So I was trying to pull it apart and I did that. So anyway, I got that apart and I made a little video while I was doing that, pulled it all apart. And what I found out is a few things. Okay. First thing I noticed is that the copper line was crushed. If you are on the Patreon group, you saw the picture I posted. So Jeremy, our guest that's in studio today.
Yes.
You saw that post that I had posted about it, like the copper, you could see the copper line running past the splines.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was the splines of the axle shaft. And what it really is the Allen head bolt that holds the caps on.
Yep.
They have that little spline on the outside of the Allen head.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was sitting there between. So what happened was the Allen head bolt and the differential housing are so close together when it's all in there that they're like not enough room for the copper line.
Yep.
So it crushed the copper line and it was rubbing on the cap. And I was like, damn, that sucks. So I figured that was what the problem was, right? And I pulled it out and I threw it on the, I had a tote. I had to pull it out and throw it on a tote and then slide out underneath the Jeep.
Okay.
And I called Chris and I was like, I haven't bench tested it yet, but I pulled it out and the line's crushed. He's like, oh, okay. He's like, well, that sucks. And I told him what the deal was. He's like, huh, that's weird. I told him, I was like, it wasn't anybody's fault per se, because they installed it, like they put it together as anyone would do it. The copper line was perfect, but you didn't know that the housing tolerance was that tight right there.
Mm-hmm.
Like you wouldn't think about it. And so I was out for a cruise with Cash. I took him out for a joyride while we were talking to Chris. And then I came back and I bench tested it and the copper line was fine. There was no leaks in the copper line at all.
Well, that's wild.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
The O-ring was blowing by the O-ring on the seal housing.
Okay.
So we're like, He's
so
like,
that's
so
what he originally thought it was.
It must be a compromised O-ring.
Okay.
And so I was like, okay. He's like, well, that sucks. He's like, well, pull it apart and find out. So at first he wasn't sure if I could pull that seal housing off without damaging or without having to take the whole carrier apart. I was like, I don't know. It looks like you can. He's like, I don't know. So I sent him some pictures the next morning And he was talking to Terry, and Terry looked at the pictures, and Terry goes, no, yeah, you can just pull the clip. There's a little retainer clip. You pop that clip, and the seal housing just slides right off the outside. And you don't have to take the carrier out or nothing. I was like, man, that's awesome. So while I'm on the phone with Chris, I walk out there. I do just that. I pop it off, pull it all apart to hopefully see this torn O-ring. And I pull it apart, and I'm like, why is there metal in here?
Oh, boy.
There's metal between the O-rings.
Oh, boy.
And I like run my finger inside there, and like there's metal flakes all over my finger.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. And I was like, that's not good. And when I was trying to take the seal housing off, I couldn't get it to, I got it to free up, but I took a little bit of like, I had a little pocket screwdriver, flathead pocket screwdriver, and I was getting in behind it and just kind of wiggling a little bit and finally had to pop loose, but it was kind of tight. And I went to go slip it after I cleaned it all up. I went to slip it back together, and I couldn't get it to push back onto the housing. I'm like, well, that's weird. I got it off, but I can't. That's fine. I got it off.
Act like we actually start the timer in a normal
That's
way.
only for me, and I don't count today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. So we, I was trying to figure out how I was going to get the seal housing back on, because the clip, so the retainer that keeps the spanner from spinning, that holds the bearings in, that spanner, or that little retainer clip, was in the way. So Chris is like, we'll just take the retainer clip off. He's like, the cap's bolted down. It's not going to move. So I undo the clip, I pull it out, take it off. And then, of course, the seal housing slides right on. I was like, okay, cool. And so I'm looking at it. I'm trying to figure everything out, what's going on here. Like, why is this not working? Whatever. I put the seal housing back on, and I charged the system again. And it was perfect. No leaks.
You didn't replace the seals.
Nothing. I didn't do anything. I cleaned them off, and I put new lube on them. I put it back on there. No leaks.
Huh.
He's like, huh. He's like, all right. And so I started looking at it a little bit closer. Here's the issue. The issue is, on a factory, the zip locker seal housing is made for a factory 9-inch, which has round holes in that like stamped steel nut that holds the bearings in.
Okay.
Like that adjusts your backlash.
Yep.
And it's made for that, so it has rounded holes. Well, Yukon's new design has like almost like big splines, like bigger like square teeth.
Okay.
That are that nut, that is that nut, and it's all like cut out of billet or something. It's super nice and extremely beefy, but because they're square, that retainer ring is like 3 times the size of the factory one. So what was happening is, you put the seal housing on, and it would bind against that retaining ring, and it would push the seal housing over, smashing the O-rings, and then because the O-rings were crushed, it was metal on metal against the diff. So it literally galded the steel of the housing and the steel on the differential. It muffed it all up.
Huh.
But you would never know that just looking at it on the bench. Like, you would not have seen that. So,
Huh.
so then Chris, I was working with Chris and like trying to figure it out, and he's like, oh, cool. And he calls up his Yukon rep, and they're sitting there talking. He's like, yeah, so had I known that you were putting all these parts together, like into one housing, I would have told you have to grind the housing out to make room for that copper line. He's like, so that wouldn't have crushed the copper line, but the
Yukon rep said this. Okay.
He's like, there's like a procedure for trying to stuff an HD housing with a 35 spline zip locker into a 9-inch. Like, you have lost all of your clearances.
So you need a little clearance. Okay.
Yeah, you're going to need a clearance certificate. We're going to need 3 forms of ID.
And we were talking about this, and I'm pretty sure on the Dana 60, because I run an ARB in mine, that you have to, the bearing cap that you have to V-notch to give the copper line room to get around.
Isn't that wild? You have to notch the cap.
I can't believe it's that tight of a clearance.
Right?
That's what blows my mind.
It's tight. The 9-inch, I know, is real tight. So today, Chris and I were sitting there talking. He's like, hey, I talked to them. They're going to take care of it. And so he got me a new seal housing. And got it in the mail Wednesday, and it showed up today.
Nice.
And then I went out there and took the retaining ring. So that retaining clip that holds the cap from spinning, I put it back on there and tried to put the old seal housing back on. So I was trying to do the clearance fitting. So even after I notched that retaining clip a little bit, I ended up having to put a shim under it on top of the cap where the bolt goes through it.
To still make room for it.
Because what happened was when you tightened it down, so it was all good if you just put it in there and then you put the seal housing on it was fine. But if you tightened it down, then it actually moved the retaining ring into the seal housing.
That just blows my mind that's that tight of a tolerance.
It's that tight.
That's insane.
So I put a washer. I found a washer that was like the perfect thickness and the perfect diameter, and I threw it underneath of that. And then I had to tap it into place with a hammer, the retaining clip.
Yeah.
And I tapped it into place, threw the Allen bolt through it, threw the seal housing on there. Perfection.
But is that retainer clip, is that factory spec or is that Yukon spec?
That's Yukon's retainer clip.
Okay, so everything in there.
Everything is Yukon end to
That's
end.
crazy.
I think it's just one of those deals where it's beefy in how many people run the 35 spline zip locker with the Yukon hardcore.
But
nobody ever goes to tons.
Even if it was the 27 spline, or 27 and 30 spline, right? Is that 49?
31 spline.
Okay.
31 and
regardless, the OD.
It's like 28 and 31.
OD of that seal is going to be the same size on every one of them.
Yeah, but if you're running the stock housing.
But
no.
But with the Yukon stuff, so it's all Yukon seal.
No, the 35 spline's bigger than all of them.
But it's still Yukon, right?
Yeah.
So your ID
is
going up like this.
Yeah.
But your OD
of
never changes. That seal.
Of the seal housing?
The air seal.
I think it might. Because you got to think the shaft is bigger, so they didn't take meat off the side of the carrier because it used a different bearing. It's a bigger bearing and everything.
Okay.
When you go to 35 spline,
everything gets opened up.
When you go to 35 spline, everything gets bigger. Yeah. You can there's a special bearing that you can, and somebody's going to tell me I'm wrong here, or if I have it wrong, I'm sorry. But I'm pretty sure you can use a factory housing with a special bearing to put a 35 spline carrier in it. Highly don't recommend. If you're spending money to buy 35 spline shafts, buy a Yukon HD housing, because that was my weak point.
Yep.
I broke one shaft, I broke a locker, and I broke the caps off the back of the housing.
Was it? And that's all because of the housing, not because of one of those things failed and took the others out?
No, I broke a shaft in one incident.
Oh, these are three different incidents.
3 different incidents.
Okay.
I broke a shaft one time. I broke a locker a different time. And then I broke when Ian and I went out in March.
Yeah, I was there for that.
I was there.
This is the most uneventful destruction ever.
The Naxa Naxja.
We got to spool the winch line.
That was when you guys just got with Crawler off road and
had all that. Yeah, had all my stuff fresh on there.
It's been since March. It's been a minute.
Long time ago.
Isn't that wild? So yeah, that's what happened. So I got everything. I have my new seal housing. It is all but put together.
Speaking of,
yes, sir.
You have a tube cutter.
Do you have a tube cutter?
Tubing cutter for like brick line.
Yeah,
face line.
Yeah, I do.
Do you have a little stubby?
Mm-hmm. It's like that tall.
Oh, that might be too tall.
No, that'd be all right.
No,
okay, that's not
because you're coming in from the side.
It was like you.
I'm like,
it's 6 inches. I swear.
It's probably about
it's like
that
6
tall.
by 2.
The nice thing is it's automatic.
What?
So it's spring loaded. So you back it off, put your thing in, tighten it down, and then you just keep turning it, and it keeps constant pressure.
I like that.
It's not like the old school ones where you like turn it, tighten it, turn it, tighten it. Yep.
That's nice stuff. Yeah, mine's just a little cobalt from
I like
Lowe's.
that.
But yeah, I may
need to borrow that. I got a little copper line I need to cut.
Okay.
So once I get that done, I'll be able to throw the housing back together and then start throwing everything back together. Once it's all, which will take me all of a couple hours.
Mm-hmm.
Once that's all back together, it's drivable again. I need to put fluid in it. Oh my God.
Yeah. Another story.
Oh my God. We pulled that thing. I pulled the, excuse me.
Edit.
Can I get a marker?
No, I want to make you find it.
Ah, jeez. I don't even know what the time is. So I had already pulled it all apart and I had it all. I took a trash bag and put it back over the face of the housing, and then took my old cast iron hogshead and like shoved it over the trash bag, so like it sealed it all up. And I just slid the axle shafts back in. It was sealed from the weather because we had a pretty gnarly rainstorm the other day.
I mean, just being underneath a fully covered Jeep. Yeah,
it's a good idea. Like when it was 60-mile-an-hour winds, I mean,
yeah,
leaves and everything else in there. We pull it back apart today, and I'm scoping
kind
out
of weather creations. Like I got a hurricane under my rear axle in my driveway.
Have you seen my house?
it's the Bubba Gump. The water was coming up.
It was raining upwards. So anyway, I pulled it all apart today when Jeremy got there, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to reuse the fluid because I've put about 50 miles in on that rear end. I'll just use that as break-in. Oh my God, am I glad I did.
Metal?
Dude, that diff fluid that was still in the bottom of the housing was so metallic-y. It was unbelievable.
Well, you got to think of how much new metal parts you put on in there.
Oh my God.
That's what I was thinking.
No
Like
idea.
new shafts, new locker, new gears.
I put a magnet in the bottom of that thing.
Mm-hmm.
The magnet was a fuzzball.
It went from like a 1/4 inch to 3/4 inch.
It's a 10 millimeter
1
magnet.
inch.
And it was, easily 1 inch around of metal. And then there's like metal wedge up in the corners. Like I'm going to have to clean it all out, brake clean everything else. I was like,
I would bet you're going to see
shock.
that for a while.
I am going to put about 4 more sets of magnets in it before I put it back together.
And every one of these people was like, it's an XJ, just go.
That is quite true.
You should have welded it, wouldn't have had any metal at all.
Well, that's what I said earlier, Joe. You wouldn't have had any of this issue if you would have spooled it.
So you were saying that.
Yeah.
You were standing 3 feet from the spool.
Oh, is that right? Yeah, because I'm looking at
that's why I asked you when you said that.
site to
or
Googled the Yukon locker to see the installation process to see if you needed to notch it out.
And it pulled up a spool.
And just from Google and
Yukon zip locker.
Inch.
It pulled up a spool.
Yeah, it was just that easy. I mean, it was telling you from the get go.
When you asked that, I was like, why are you asking? And you're like, oh, because I found this thing. I was going to tell you, I was like, yeah, over there, there's a spool sitting there.
Is that the one
brand new?
That's you never did get that one. That
if
one
anybody
kid was
needs,
supposed to. The one that kid was supposed to pick up for you. He never did get that one, did you?
No, because that dude ghosted me. Not Kevin. Kevin didn't ghost me, but the guy that was
the original.
Yeah, that was going to sell it to me just kind of ghosted me, and I was like, whatever. And I just was over it. If anybody needs a 35 spline Yukon spool for a Ford 9-inch, let me know. I got one. I'll sell it to you.
Super expensive.
I can't promise you it's going to be at a high discount.
We got new fluid to pay for, damn it. We need fluid money.
Yeah, I can't promise I'm going to give it away. I'll tell you that.
Fancy red fluid.
The red flood. That red flood's not that bad expensive, is it?
I don't know.
I
run Valvoline synthetic.
Oh, do you?
I run whatever our Advance has.
I run
80,
Mystic.
was it
I just
80,
buy Mystic in the 2-gallon jug.
Yeah. I mean, I just go to Napa and get the case of Valvoline full synthetic stuff.
Yeah. I'm going to throw that back together. So the last thing I need to do, well, not last, but right now, I need to throw that all back together. And then I have those U-bolt eliminators from Steve Mason.
Yep.
I need to take those and throw those in the Jeep, and I'm going to drive it over to the shop one day. I'm just going to take an entire day, find a day where it's going to be decently nice outside still.
Good luck.
Yeah,
they're coming. There's going to be a couple left, I think. There'll be one or two.
We still got, we had our Indian summer last week, so.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be there will always be that one day, it's going to be 55 degrees, and that's all I need.
I'm putting money on Thanksgiving weekend.
Gonna be nice.
Yep.
Okay.
Nice.
He's hoping. He's like, I'm going hunting.
Actually, I'll probably be working.
Oh, but what I need to do is I need to take those U-bolt eliminators and I need to go to the shop, cut my existing perches off, and then jack the Jeep back up and get everything situated underneath there with the eliminators under there, and then re-weld those on the axle with the pinion at the correct angle. Because right now my pinion is food-barred. The angle is food-barred.
But you kind of diagnosed that, I guess, with the adjusting.
I wrapped it with anti-wrap.
bar.
Yeah. I wrapped that pretty quite a bit and kind of diagged it. It made it a lot better, but it's not perfect. So
but it shows change in the positive direction. Yeah.
So I know that has something to do with it. So be better with a double cardan drive shaft. You are supposed to have it facing, the pinion is supposed to face directly at the transfer case.
Yeah, they're supposed to be on the same plane, essentially. Are they supposed to be like this, or are they supposed to be pointing at each other?
It's pointing at each other, isn't
it's
it?
supposed to be pointed up like this.
Okay.
So it's not supposed to be parallel. Like if you have
it's not supposed to be on the same plane. It's supposed to be pointing at. Okay.
Yeah. Instead of they're not, the rear end is supposed to point directly at it, which lowering it helped, but still needs quite a bit of angle.
Needs some assistance.
See.
Nice.
So I got to get that figured out, and then that hopefully will. Excuse me.
Need a Red Bull? Dude, I haven't had a peach Red Bull in almost a week, and I'm going through withdrawal.
Are we fiending?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, dude, it's pretty legit. I had a tropical one the other day. That was actually good.
I tried it's Arctic Berry is the new winter flavor. It's been hitting that one hard, but nobody's had peach Red Bull.
So my wife works for a heart surgeon, so I have to tell you guys that's bad for you.
Yeah, well, read the can. It tells you that on the can.
I had like one in the last 4 years.
What, one Red Bull?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I think I've had one
same.
Yeah.
Every day this
I'm a
week.
coffee guy.
Coffee every day.
Yeah, so that was my week. I finally we have diagged and figured out why it has an air leak. So what Chris and I are guessing happened is it was already, so the seal housing was already pushed off to one side a little bit.
Yep.
So it had a bias to let air by those O-rings. And then when I drove into town that night, it put enough wear on that
it had enough to leak.
It would put enough wear on it to get a piece of metal lodged in between the O-ring and the dealio.
That's wild.
So theoretically, possibly, had I charged it with air and drove around, it might have sealed itself.
Yeah, but it would have worn eventually. You would have drove around with it unlocked eventually.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but it was hard. It was not good.
Yeah.
Like, it may have sealed itself on the trip, was what I was saying. Like, when we were out four-wheeling, had I just flipped it on and just went driving, it might have turned enough to pop one of the pieces of metal out and then seal back up.
I'm following.
That's what I was saying.
Now.
But who knows how long that would last.
Either way,
it was to push what was in there out.
What maybe, or maybe not. But nonetheless, we have got her figured out now. We know what the issue was, and hopefully we're going to put it back in. Jeremy and I test fitted the copper line under a different orientation, like a different routing.
Fit perfect.
Oh, fit amazing.
It fell right in.
Yep, it's going to be perfect. So I want to get that stabbed in there as soon as I get that cutter from you. And hopefully I'll have my lockers working. I am going to seal.
Nice.
So last time I put it all together, one of the guys on the group recommended that I put, was that the dog?
I don't know.
I heard something,
I'm going to assume it was the dog.
Yeah, somebody squealing. Last time I put the axles in, I put a little bit of RTV around the bearing seal at the seal, the axle seal, and slid it all together, and it held until we charged it with air. After looking at it some more and like trying to figure out how I was going to do that to make it work better, I'm going to clean the outers with brake clean where that seals that and everything. And before I put the spacers, because it has two spacers on it when we're talking about at the flange of the axle, out where the bearings are at for the axle bearings. And it's got two spacers on there, and I'm going to run a bead of silicone all the way around that seal, and then I'm going to put those two spacers on there. So hopefully no more accidents.
Here's what I'd recommend.
Yes, sir.
And I might be wrong.
You are.
It's just what I've done. So Loctite makes a product. It's called 515. It's literally like the number on the Loctite.
It's like just before beer 30.
Yeah. It is an anaerobic flange sealant. It's purple.
Okay.
So what its design purpose is to do is seal when there's no oxygen. Like it won't set. It's not like a RTV.
Yeah.
Well, if you squirt that shit on your hand, it's eventually going to set in your hand.
Right.
This shit just stays sticky until there's lack of oxygen. Hence the like two things pressed together. There's no oxygen, so that it sets there. So we usually use it on like bearings and like any kind of like metal on metal flanged sealing surface. Huh. So what you can do on like take a differential and an axle housing, Wow, that was aggressive. Like the whole fucking table.
You've outlost your shafts.
Yeah, I was like, oh, nothing fell.
You hear that noise and you hear
Well, the cell phone's sitting right there too. It's lucky the
just let her rip.
Just let her go. So like that, instead of using RTV because oil gets in that RTV and sometimes it doesn't seal. I use it on transfer cases to transmissions. Use it a lot at work. That's what I would recommend.
Huh.
Put it between because you're putting the shims out there.
Well,
like it's the hub essentially. And then there's like usually a shim, and then there's the axle. I'm thinking 14 bolts.
You're thinking 14 volts different. Yeah. So what it is like you have the 4-bolt flange at the end of the axle tube. The race slides in that, and then there's a seal on the bearing, and when you slide the shaft in, the seal goes inside the housing a little bit.
Okay. Yep.
But
so you
normally
still do the same thing. It sounds like just on the outside of that seal.
Really,
I think that seal's a pressed fit.
I was thinking that I could just RTV, put a nice thick bead of RTV around it, and then just stick it.
Yeah. Put enough RTV.
I think RTV. You don't even need the damn seal.
I know because I've got RTV. I think I'm going to do it that way. We'll try that. If that doesn't work, I mean, it's an air locker. I'm bound to have it back apart next year, right?
No.
Oh no.
I mean, if you
Jeremy disagrees wholeheartedly.
If you install it right, it should be golden.
It looked accurate.
Yeah.
The install we tried to do earlier, it looked good.
Well, he's also using a smashed hose.
Shh. That's what she said.
What?
Smash hose.
Yeah, we smash hose all the time.
But no, I think with that new routing, you can like even like cock it a little bit.
I didn't have any problem getting it in there. Like I said,
it almost fell in.
Yeah, it was perfect. I was able to lay and what we're talking about is the copper line is on the outside of if you're familiar with a 9-inch at all, the copper line's on the outside of the bearing caps, and it has to travel up over the bearing cap and then inside towards the housing because that's where the airline comes out of. And so we have to, it's just such a tight tolerance trying to slide it into the 9-inch housing with the hogshead and everything, trying to get that in there.
I just can't
believe
it
doesn't help that fucker weighs like 800 pounds.
Oh, I was not expecting that when you went to hand it to me.
No, so I pick it out of the back of the Jeep and I'm like, yep, she's pretty heavy. I was like, you want to hold it? And I went to hand it to him. He's like, and his arms just keep going down, going down. He's like, oh my God. He was waiting for the weight to like stop. He's like, are you pulling down?
It's still going.
But I will say, I mean, you weren't expecting it then, but you were expecting it when I handed it back to you out from underneath the Jeep, got down to a squat position and like outreached and like grabs it by the pinion, like not full out, but he was like, like
not resting my elbows on my knees. Holding
yeah, he was out. Yeah, he grabbed her by the pinion snout and the bearing cap, and just took it away from me. I'm like, whew. That's a lot of weight hanging out there.
I think before you install that tomorrow, I think you need to throw that thing on a bathroom scale and just
see what it weighs.
I bet it's 40 pounds.
Fat. Oh, hell no.
You think it's more?
Oh, yeah.
60?
80? I bet it's close to, I bet it's got to be in that ballpark. It's fat.
She's a fat bottom guy.
Yeah.
It's way fatter than a stock one.
Stout.
When I got it in the mail and I pulled it out, I was like, whoo.
I bet the mailman was
pissed. The UPS guy was pissed that day.
He brought me my shafts, that thing. The shafts came on 2 days, but that thing and one shaft, and what else was it? The spool? Like all that shit came. But they're in a box.
I said the box is a big box. A lot of that expandable foam doesn't move, so you can carry it, cradle it a lot easier. And you got to think
the locker and the ring and pinion weren't in there.
Yeah.
So it's probably 35 pounds right there.
Yeah.
Yep. But is it when you're trying to wrestle that fucker underneath of a Jeep and trying to stick it up in there, it is not easy.
Well, you're not doing it on a bench either. You're doing it up underneath the Jeep.
You're sitting on a creeper
the Jeep jacked up on jack stands.
Yeah.
6 feet in the air.
It's barely higher than stock. Not stock.
Bullshit.
Barely higher than ride height. 4 inches.
But still, you're this 80-pound metal chunk.
I have it.
And you have to go up to your chest to get it into the back of the Jeep.
If I can do it, you can definitely do it because you got a good 6 inches on me.
Nah, it's probably 8.
Yeah, see?
Let's get the tape measure.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I have it in the back of the Jeep sitting on the gas tank skid or the gas tank floor there, the raised floor. I figured that was the safest place where I can't put it in the garage because it'll turn dusty. It'll be its own fuzz ball. Yeah, that stuff sticks to diff fluid like nobody's business. So I put that and the diff fluid in there. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with that diff fluid now.
Trash.
Water the grass with it.
And I did that once.
Fence line.
Terrible idea.
Fence line where you don't want weeds.
Bro, I smelled it for like 8 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
It was bad. And I was like the dogs. I was just waiting for the dog to roll in it.
Yep.
Come in and smell like 90 weight. Like, oh, God.
And you're like, oh, I got new dog.
How do you even get
I'm getting new dog.
You gotta go.
That's how you do it. That's how you get rid of it. It's like a skunk. Yeah. You're like, how do you get that out of the fur?
Yeah, see, my wife smells gear oil and she thinks of me. Because
Really?
all the years in manufacturing
Nice.
and hydraulic oil and all that stuff. Yeah.
That's nice. My wife smells 80, 90 weight and thinks of me. Oh, my husband. Everybody else in the corner.
Could be worse.
So
Could be
like,
worse.
yeah, so like patients, like the patients that she sees,
Mhm.
Somebody that works in a factory or works in a mechanic or something
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. She's like, you work on vehicles or
Uh-huh.
yeah,
I know that smell.
you smell like my husband.
Yeah. Oh.
Does that turn you on?
So if you guys haven't figured out yet, I don't know if we announced it.
I
We
don't know.
have.
I don't think you announced you had a guest.
I told you to shut up. You didn't listen.
I just
Jeremy,
need you to sit there and be quiet for
an
hour and 10 minutes.
What is this? What is this? The listener. What was this?
This was the top.
How'd you win this?
This was the
top poster,
Oh,
top
yeah.
contributor.
and then we drew a name out of like the top 10.
Yeah, that's what it was. Man, that's been a minute. Boy, you've been waiting for this one,
Yeah.
bro.
Well, I didn't want, I don't know. I mean, you guys are less than, what was it, 2 hours, 15 minutes
I
from
don't
the
know.
house or something like that. So I was like, man, if we could just do this in person, it'd be so much better.
It's fun.
It definitely is better.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. Because
Phone works, but then it's just me and Ian staring at each other like every week.
Yeah.
Like him.
well,
new shiny.
nobody,
Yeah. Oh, look at the guy.
everybody in the house complains of how loud I talk on the phone.
Yeah.
So I end up going outside and just pacing outside.
Uh-huh.
And I figured if I do a podcast, I'll be outside pacing for like 3
Yeah.
hours.
Wear a
See,
hole in the
I
concrete.
can't sit still when
Uh-huh.
I'm talking on the phone. I got to walk around,
Yeah,
and
I'm
I'm
the
just like,
same.
oh boy.
Yep. Yeah. Steve calls and I'm like, all right, outside, front yard to the backyard, up
Yep.
and down the driveway.
I was on the phone the other night with Kyle Meng for, I don't know, we were on the phone for like an hour. Like doing it was the night that I pulled the seal housing apart. He was messaging me because he saw it on that one platform that I'm on. And
Which one is that for the
Nope.
listeners?
I don't know.
I got a tally
It's-
sheet going, so go ahead.
The platform that almost got banned in the United States that I can't say on this
Which
podcast
one is that?
anymore.
I
Wasn't
don't even
there-
think you had to go that far. Everybody knows that
Anyway, he saw the
the
video of me pulling it
forbidden
apart.
name.
The forbidden name. Stop talking about it.
Now you know how I feel with Bushy Blue.
that has
That's
finally
true story.
like tailed off.
Not now. It hasn't.
No,
I should have
thanks for
just.
bringing it
I
back.
should have said a damn
Here she
thing.
comes.
It's coming back.
But anyway, he saw me on there. He saw me do the video on there, and he's like, "Oh, I see. I got to come over here to find out the good stuff." He's like,
Yep.
"Hell with me being a patron. I got to come over here and find it." I was like, "Let's just where it went up first."
Live
and,
action.
Live action. Yep. That posted.
I'm
well.
glad you got it figured out.
I
I'm glad
am
you got
ecstatic.
it like legit figured it out.
Yeah, and it
And-
really wasn't that.
I didn't have to ship it to complete. I
Yeah,
didn't have to bring it to
didn't have
you to
bring
take
it
to work.
my work.
I was just going to bring it to you to take to work.
So
Yeah,
this
I'm not-
is
yeah.
something for UConn because their warranty is amazing.
Yeah. And
you just
I don't
call
even
them
have
and tell them what's going on, and they've got it out in the mail.
I don't have the Yukon Yes warranty. That's the shit.
I tried to do that on
I need to
my
get Chris to file
14
mine.
bolt,
Uh-huh.
but I had to turn it. Had to be turned down because it's only a 9.5 or
Yeah.
10-inch, maybe 10-inch now.
Because
I
you
don't
shaved
remember.
it?
Because the housing's been shaved. So
Did
I
you
had
go to a 13 bolt or a
15?
you went to 15 bolt?
Yeah,
Oh,
so
you did
I
the
did- yeah.
oh.
It
was
got
done
the
that.
big shave.
Yeah.
You did the big shave like
I did.
did you
I
get
didn't do the big
TMRs?
shave. I bought it that way.
Whose shave kit was it?
I think it's ballistic.
Oh, is it?
I think so.
Man,
the
that shave
the
kit's so
housing
cool.
or the diff cover.
Did we ever figure out what the difference was between ballistics shave and the shave you did, Ian, from Crane?
The 13 bolt.
Yeah, the 13 to
Yeah,
the
I
15.
mean, you gain.
What's the difference? A half inch?
You gain a bit.
Is it?
So
I just don't like the amount of, you got to shave the ring gear, you got to shave the axle down, then you got to weld it back up, and then I've seen an axle that they wore through that bottom plate because you don't wear that like AR-50 or whatever plate on. If you don't weld that plate on, it'll grind through that plate because it is so. I mean, it's
you're talking about like rubbing over rocks.
Yeah. They'll grind through that.
So that's a 13 bolt, right? Because my 15 bolt is like a 1/2 inch plate.
That's the 15 bolt he's saying.
The early kits with that, there was an extra plate you had to weld on. It was like under that armor plate. Yeah,
when you shave the housing, you're taking so much off the housing that you put a plate. Mine's a 1/2 inch plate.
Here's another thing that I recently learned from a...
If it was AR-500,
you shouldn't, no.
Yeah.
No, it's
literally when you can shoot 50 cals at it and not do anything to it.
AR-500 is literally wear plate.
Yeah,
that's what it's made for. If you were going to build a skid plate, you would use either AR-400 or AR-500. The problem with AR-500 is it has so much carbon in it that it's brittle. So like if you came off of something hard and landed on it, you could fracture it. That's what we had. We were going to buy a trailer from the manufacturing company up in Streeter. They had an AR-500 trailer, like the floor was AR-500, and it was super thin because it's so hard. You don't need it to be thick, and it's wear plate, so it's not like it's going to wear through. And they made the whole floor at like 3/16, so super thin in terms of like a trailer. Mine's a quarter, and my dad wanted to buy it, and what had happened was they sold it to a company. Told it's wear plate, so this is for something that's going to be hauling a lot of material, but nothing big. They dropped a chunk of concrete on it. And it put like an 18-inch fracture in the back of the floor.
Yep.
And my dad's like, I'll buy it from you. He's like, no, I can't really sell it. And Dad's like, how much are you going to scrap it for? Because they took it apart and to scrap it.
Yeah.
And he's like, how much are you going to scrap it for? And they told him, he's like, I'll buy it for that. And he's like, I don't know. Because they didn't want to warranty it.
Yeah.
They didn't want him to buy it and then bring it back or have like something else fail in it. Knew we were going to buy that thing, throw a weld on it and be like, dunzo. Because we're going to rock with it. Like small 3/4 inch rock. But yeah, they were a little nervous about it.
So here's the deal with ballistics. You gain 2 inches over factory.
Jesus.
And they add a 5/8 billet bottom. So that bottom plate is a 5/8 billet, and then they put a 1/2 inch thick armor plate on it. And I've seen guys not put that armor plate on, and I've seen it wore through. Now I've also had a conversation.
How hard are you on shit?
You've seen them boys out west.
People wheel, bro. People don't get on jack stands; they wheel.
You've seen all them Toyotas out there that's like, I don't even know why they have a body left. It's just
here's the other crazy thing with that.
I've seen some guys wear clean through the diff cover, just not even have one. Like just can't even see the diff cover anymore.
So I had a conversation with Jake Berkey here recently. He was having a conversation with somebody, and I kind of got involved with that about 14-volt shaves. And he said that they had done some extensive testing on 14-volt shaves where you machine the ring gear, machine housing, and you will see deflection in the housing because you take off so much material.
On a 15-volt?
That you see deflection on that axle to where you start seeing issues with literally the axle.
Who was it? Yeah, this is what 1,500 horsepower.
Yeah, this is in like rock bouncer shit. So I mean, I think you're fine, but like that to me blows my fucking mind that you are seeing that axle because we're talking truss axle.
Yeah,
that just that amount of material you're seeing flexing like deflection in that housing. So that's why I like the 13-volt. You just put a cover on, smooth it out with a Sawzall, and good enough. But that's why I really like cranes because they don't have that lip on the cover.
You gained how much?
An inch, inch and a half, inch and a
quite
quarter.
A bit. It was
more than none.
Oh, yeah.
But I think the big key with cranes is that it doesn't have a lip. So it's a smooth, those bolts are recessed. So it's smooth.
Transition, yeah.
So even though you don't gain as much, you don't have a lip.
You slide over it.
You slide right over it.
Was it Chad Bartley that was telling us that he preferred the 13 over the 15? One of our guests was saying that he liked the 13 over the 15 because when you cut the housing, you run the risk of warping it.
You're putting a lot of heat right there.
Definitely see that.
Yeah, and like, how are you going to keep that? It's cast that cools at a different rate.
You really have to do the post heat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or preheat. I'm sorry. Preheat and post. Preheat and then let it
So the reason that cast,
slowly cool.
as I understand, the reason that cast and mild steel, when you weld them together, the biggest problem is that they cool at a different rate.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just let them cool on their own, one cools faster than the other and it contracts faster, and that's when you start getting your fracturing.
Well, you can let them, as far as I know.
You can let them cool together, but you can't let them cool.
But you have to wrap them.
That's the thing. Is like when you wrap them, they insulate. You've insulated, so they both cool
the hot
slowly
one
together.
keeps the other one warmer.
Yeah. Whereas if you just leave it open air, the one will cool off faster.
So when
than
I
the
did
other.
my knuckles, I plated my knuckles on the front of my 14-volt steer.
Uh-huh.
I did the plate kit, plated them, welded them. You preheat them, then you weld it, and then when I was done, I took a little like 30-gallon drum. Put a little sand in there, threw a knuckle in, put a little sand in there, put a knuckle in, threw a little sand on the top, and literally had a 30-gallon drum of like sand and 2 knuckles.
Yeah.
That shit was hot for like 2 or 3 days.
Really?
I can imagine.
Stupid. I mean, those things were so fucking hot that it was all I could. I went to like kind of 2-hand, kind of like whoop, whoop, into the barrel. Couldn't do it because you couldn't touch it with welding gloves.
What is the I can't remember the preheat temperature. I'm wanting to say like 400.
I think it's like 4 to 6,
450.
something like there. Yeah.
When we did my knuckle that's on the Jeep that had, so we were going to do a high steer, but I didn't want to drill through that knuckle because it's not a high steer knuckle.
Yep.
But there's enough meat on top of it. I was like, I can put a high steer knuckle. I can put a high steer arm on this. I'll have to weld to it. And so we took a knuckle and my old barbecue grill that I had, gas grill, and took the gas grill over to my cousin's place, and we threw the knuckle on the gas grill, fired that sucker up with a full tank of propane, brought it up to 500 degrees.
Yep.
Once it got to, like, I had it 500 degrees for like a half hour, popped the old lid on her, and took the ground strap, hooked it right to the right inside there.
And welded it in the grill?
I think I already had it tacked together and where we needed it. Threw the ground strap on it and just turned around on the grates and just burned it in right on the grill.
Yeah.
Yeah, we burned it in completely, shut the lid on it. I think it was over like 2 hours. I kept backing the temp down slowly over 2 hours. And then once it was off, I just kind of let it
cool.
Because the grill was so hot.
Yeah.
I just let everything just kind of just slowly cool from there.
And the grill's somewhat
mildly insulated, but you had heat.
heat.
But the grill itself was hot, so you had heat all the way around everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't say that that's done correctly, but what I can say is it
didn't crack out and
hasn't cracked on jack stands yet. So I mean, I don't see why it would,
It's been off the jack stands 3 times, all of 3 times, and it's broke all of 3 times.
My wheeling record is based off of that. So I mean, I cannot talk shit.
So when I did my
we
gears,
did that back in 2016. So it's been 4
6
years.
times.
Maybe 6 times. Yeah. Did a little bit of steering without hydro assist.
So when I did my gears, I think it was for the 14 bolt. I did the whole take it inside, put your ring gear in the oven.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't recommend that.
You baked that off.
Wife get all mad.
Oh, it was bad.
She was like, "I like the smell of 89."
It
Wait
was
until you
so
cooked
bad.
it, you asshole.
So also I'd watched on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
So don't do everything you see on YouTube.
You mean like wash your transfer case in the bathtub?
No, my buddy just did his his intake for his 4.0 in the kitchen sink.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He port matched it or whatever.
In the kitchen sink?
He port matched it, but that's how he cleaned everything out was in the kitchen sink.
Oh my god, that poor drain pipe.
But no, the bearings. So heating your bearings up, cooking them in oil. So a saucepan with oil.
Don't do it in the house.
Yeah, don't do gear oil either.
Oh god, that'd be
that's
bad.
really bad. Yeah,
that'd be terrible.
I fucked up.
So what kind of oil you would use for that?
Here's what I'm gonna tell you.
You could do gear oil, but don't do it inside the house.
Well, hell no.
I'm gonna tell you what to do. I'm gonna solve your problems.
Okay.
Go to Walmart.
Yes, sir.
Buy a little Fry Daddy electric fryer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
A little cheapo little electric fryer, and put hydraulic oil in it.
Yeah.
So you do it all the time at work.
Really?
Because we have an oven. We have an oven for
One of
like
the
stuff
pros.
too.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
the problem with putting it in an oven is you're cooking that bearing dry.
Yeah.
So you're essentially running it
Out of oil.
And that's
cooking
why
it.
they suggested to put it in a pot and boil it that
And how
way.
cool is that? You're like seasoning the bearing.
Yeah.
You're literally like putting a coating
It makes
on
you
it.
want to go get some like mozzarella sticks and like throw them in there too and be like, you know,
It's fine.
I'm gonna die from something. Might as well have some
I
knot
ate that
sticks.
shit on my fingers anyways.
True,
No big deal.
true gearhead. True gearhead.
Yes. But yeah,
You know how good of a
but you can
video
go
that would
fry
make
it.
for a certain platform?
You,
Do it.
I think I'm just going to start tallying certain platform. Anytime it gets brought up.
Or make a reference.
Yeah.
Any reference.
Any reference to it is getting a tick.
What?
Oh, I think that's a tick. That's a tally.
Is it a tick?
Oh,
or
this
is it a
going.
talk?
This turn.
That's two.
Oh, shit. But yes, you can do it. Ring gear in your oven.
Yeah.
Clean it first. Get that oil off of it. If not, you'll have an unhappy wife.
Yes.
Definitely don't do gear oil on the stove.
There's a reason you have a grill on the back patio.
My grill's for
Dick.
smoking meat.
He legit smokes things.
Oh, yeah.
So.
You got a smoker, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got an old Weber grill. 20,
a charcoal
20 inch,
grill?
22, yeah.
Nah, man, you need a gas grill floating around so you can throw a pot. So you can throw a pot on it full of oil.
Or you just go get a
and cook
Fry
your
Daddy.
berries. Or you go get a Fry Daddy.
Yeah, I mean, you pick a Fry Daddy up for $20.
Yep.
Yeah. I was thinking about this the other day. I cook a lot of stuff in the house with oil and bacon and everything else. I'm like, I should really cook all this shit on the grill outside.
Yep.
Because Yep.
What
the
the hell
range
is that
hood?
called? Yeah,
the
range
range
hood.
hood's going to be gross.
It's so bad, so quick.
My kids with this whole COVID thing have been home from school a lot. My son is home from college, and they've been frying stuff or sauteing things.
Yeah.
And that range hood,
so
every couple of days you've got to wipe it down because it's so much oil.
So we wipe
on
it down. Does yours have the screen mesh over the fan?
Then the fan fucking blows. It doesn't suck. It blows.
Oh, really?
It's horrible.
Really?
No, it literally.
Yours just doesn't work that well.
Oh, it's horrible.
Mine works and all that, but the screen mesh that's over it,
Is it clogged?
it'll get so much oil built up on it. Like I have to clean it once a week.
Wow.
It's bad.
Yeah,
it's easy to clean. Just
we
hot
don't use
water
the fan. We don't have an exhaust, so it just
it blows it like right out at your eyes. Yeah, that's how ours is. Like you turn it on and it's like, it's working, and it like
so you just
blows
have
in your
filter
eyes.
grease coming at your
Like,
face.
shit, yeah.
What good is that?
It's useless.
It is. It's absolutely useless.
Looks good for TV.
Ours goes outside. Ours at least goes into the attic.
So at our old house, it did that, but
Yeah.
the new house is not the case.
I should really look and see where it goes in the attic. I haven't checked it. Like
Probably just straight up.
in the attic, and that's it. Vents to
You're-
grease the attic. It's just a grease ball.
Oh, that would be
Your
bad.
house burns down instantly, and you're like, yeah, I've been frying the shit out of everything.
That would suck. Well, that house went up like it had accelerant all in the attic. Well,
30 years of grease in the attic will do that to you, bud.
instant bacon.
Right.
It just the firefighters show up. That's like bacon.
Was you frying? No, we weren't. We haven't used the stove in 2 days.
Eat bacon for breakfast every day, though.
For the last 30
Vents
years.
are right into the attic. I like it.
I fry
Let's
2
make it
pounds.
happen.
I fry 2 pounds of bacon every day.
Yeah. Might as well just pour the grease in the attic.
And 85 years old,
What are you
90
sharing,
years
what are you
old.
sharing over here?
Oh,
What is?
the
I
the
thought I
new
missed something.
possible
Oh, okay.
logo.
Yeah.
Logo
He moved up the 8 to.
lines it all up.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Kind of digging that one over there on the
you?
old.
I like the one that Ian drew.
He's
up.
not bad
I
at
did take
doodling.
a picture of it, but now I think he's.
I just keep going.
I will say you got nothing on Nick.
Oh, I put ink on there. Oh, yeah. Nick
you
Nick
added
does
the-
some cool stuff.
You added the lug
Ian's
to it. Yeah, it's
Ian's
kinda,
a pretty good doodler up until Nick shows up.
He outdoodles me for. It's good, though. He's good at what he does.
I know. Do we have an FSC logo floating around?
Not in here.
God, it's so good.
It's one on the back of my truck.
He took the letters FSC, full size Chevy.
Mm-hmm. Oh
took-
no, I seen it.
Have you seen it?
Well, I seen the logo on your fridge.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it looks like a truck.
yeah,
Yep.
Like he took
Yeah, that's
3
pretty-
letters and
pretty dope.
turned them into a truck.
yeah.
I'm like, how in the
It
hell
was pimp.
do you figure that out?
That's why I think people that do that stuff is blows my mind. Yeah.
That he's on a different level. I don't
Yeah.
know how much he smokes, but like it's got to be something.
Oh, the good stuff.
How do you just see that?
I don't know.
I just took 3 letters and turned them into a pickup truck.
So is that all you did this week?
Yeah, and some polishing.
Okay.
Had to make some dollars.
Make some money. To
Did
pay.
you do a damn thing this week?
Yeah.
The Bugay's still where it sat.
I know.
Did you do anything in the garage?
I don't have to move the buggy to do
Did
things.
you put a roof on the house?
No.
Did
Don't need
you
to do
clean
that
the
either.
garage?
Yeah, it's clean.
Okay.
Clean enough. It needs to be cleaner, but it's clean.
Is there a reason there's a truck in the driveway that's
Yeah.
not yours?
Uh-huh.
Are you on call this weekend?
Yes. I had to work an angle to get use of the crane on the truck. But so I'm getting paid for it.
So wait a minute. Wait. Did you bring anything home with you from work other than the truck
Today?
at all this week?
Nope.
No parts.
Nope.
Huh.
Wasn't you supposed to bring housing home?
I'm thinking like maybe the housing might have got worked on.
No, it wasn't coming home. The housing was going there.
The housing's going to go there.
The housing
on
was
Monday.
there. Oh, I thought it was already there.
No, I'd have been lazy in that department.
And that's why the crane came home.
No.
Oh.
Oh,
Why
even
is the crane
better
here?
then, because I assume that's what the crane was for.
No.
Get that monstrosity, because those 14
I'm trying to
bolts
figure
are
out what the hell you need a
ridiculous.
crane for. Like, I don't understand.
Picking up something. You're right.
Yeah, I get that. But the Bugay is kind of doneish.
Yeah, I don't need to pick it up.
There's
Is the
nothing you can do.
YJ still here?
Nope.
You're totally mind fucked.
So you're
I
not
am, because I
gonna.
don't know what you're like picking up. I'm trying to think like,
Are we motor swapping?
no.
Maybe not swap, but pull.
Nope.
No. It does not have to do with the dime piece.
It has to do with the dime piece.
I'm
Oh, it
thinking.
does.
I'm thinking you're just lifting it up to check.
Nope.
No travel checking.
Nope.
I
Not pulling. You're not pulling
oh
the cab.
exo cage.
Nope.
No, you don't have that yet though, right?
Nope.
The fuck are you doing?
How long do you want to wait until I tell you?
I don't know.
no more.
I doesn't. Yeah, I don't want to wait. I'm trying to figure out what the hell it is.
As soon as you finish that cup of water.
The bow.
I have to go pick up an axle tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Oh, so it's not here.
It's not here.
Huh.
I'm gonna go-
Is it
I'm gonna
already
go-
a steer?
It's already a steer axle.
Is it a 14 bolt steer?
It is
Oh.
not a 14.
Oh.
Oh, why?
Oh, so
are
you're going to
you-
pick up a 60 for the knuckles.
You found your knuckles.
I'm going to go pick up an 09 Super Duty 60.
Oh yeah, I was
So
wondering
we
what
have
that,
this
right?
on the paper the whole
I
time.
was wondering what you were going, what your angle on that
Two
was.
things and a doodle, and that's all I got.
Two things. What's the first one?
your YouTube
That's just
channel.
a reminder for
Yeah,
you.
I didn't want to screw it up on the air.
Did we ever tell anybody who's here?
Now we're in the. I think we're still in the what's new. I don't think the size of the category
Our
shrinks.
structure's really good.
Yeah.
I feel another email coming on.
We are
Bring it on.
We're yeah.
Yeah, I did some internet. I've been doing some searching and some researching and stuff, and acquired myself an 09 Super Duty
How many doll hairs?
60. Complete lockout to lockout. Like everything's
No.
there. Yep.
Brakes, all
Five.
the brakes.
550.
Everything. Brakes, lockouts, rotors, hubs. I mean,
I'm
everything.
saying like market value 800, but I'm saying you got it for
Because I'm
550.
wanting to say, I just seen somebody post one for like 700.
Okay. That's about, I mean, they're about 5 to 8
Uh-huh.
usually from what
Uh-huh.
I found.
What'd you give?
I'm glad you guys are sitting down.
You got 4
250
Oh no.
free.
Come on.
$198.99.
Oh, 198.99.
Yeah, what a weird number, but yeah. It was like
the dealership?
It was like
It's probably
200.
junkyard.
Yeah, is like a wholesale wrecking place.
No fucking way.
A little under an hour drive and 200
Are you getting me one?
No.
They're
I only had one. I asked him if he had any more or had any more leads on any other trucks. Because I'm a buyer.
What year?
There's-
09?
yeah.
09.
There's going to be so many pissed off people right now.
I
God.
told him,
Because
I was
that's-
like, I'll buy them all day long for
That
that.
05 Super Duty, 05 Plus Super Duty is so sought out. The Kingpins are obsolete now.
Somebody's going to be
it's
so upset you're going to cut that up.
I'm going to cut it right in half. I'm going to take a video of it. It is
You know,
a...
that do good on that one platform.
Yeah.
tally.
Tally. It's a 30. No, it's a, what's a Ford? 350? Not 3500. That's a Dodge. It's a 350. So it's
Yeah.
not the Super 60, but
Because that's the 450,
that's the
550.
450 and the 550. But it will fit a 1550 U joint. Hell, it comes stock with a
Jesus.
1480 U joint.
So you're gonna
Yes.
you can put a 1550
Yeah.
You can run a 1550
chromo.
in that. Yeah.
or
Or you can run a big bell.
That's
you have
why
to
you
do
looked up.
some shaving to it though.
That's why you
For the
looked up.
1550?
So wait, is that the same as Big Bell?
A 1550 is just a regular U joint.
Right. But if
then
you
you
were
can run a
running,
big bell CV.
will it fit in that same hole?
Yeah.
Oh, it will.
Yeah. It'll fit in a factory
This dude,
knuckle.
I don't know enough about that stuff.
So I'm missing something here. I had a conversation with TD last night about this,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, I don't understand why it's not the go-to axle right now.
I
It
have no
is.
idea. I mean, it is to the
Because
most part. Yeah.
You can fit a 1550 U joint in its stock.
Dumb. That's retarded.
So I also found out that Artec makes a truss for this 60 axle,
you know who else makes a truss for that 60 axle?
probably ORA.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
And if he doesn't, Jacob,
Well, okay.
looking directly at you.
people make. I know for a fact Artec does because I watched a video on YouTube of somebody putting on that. But what you have to do, because I don't remember if it's the passenger side or the driver's side off the top of my head. Let's see. Ford would be a driver drop. Mm-hmm. So on the driver's side, axle shaft or axle tube, the cast, because they're trailing arm factory, so they have all that extra bullshit on there.
Is it casted on or is it just welded on?
It's casted into the center section.
Yeah, it's part of the center section.
Oh. So it goes almost, there's probably a half inch, if that, between that cast center section with all the and the brackets and the inner C.
It's just like my 44. That's the same concept.
Sure.
That's how the 44 is as well.
So the problem with that is you can't weld a truss or anything on that because there's nothing to weld to.
Right.
So what guys do, and Artec gives you the cut measurements and everything, you cut 2 inches of that cast section off. Just use and I'm like, dude, fuck that. But I watched this video. Guy literally, he used a portaband and a cutoff wheel in a 4.5 inch grinder and an air hammer. And I haven't done it. It looked easy as fuck.
Yeah.
You just scored it.
A portaband.
You cut it with a portaband, scored it with the grinder this way, and then just literally went and popped chunks of it off. And it was, this was a 14-minute video and it was done.
Yeah. All the forums and, forums are dead, but all the Facebook groups is if you're cleaning any of those axles, a portaband is a very good investment.
Yeah.
Because it's like butter.
It's like butter. I love my portaband.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a pimp axle. So I'm going to run, my game plan is to run a 14 bolt center section, but 4-inch tube and factory everything else.
For you, do you even need any of that though?
Nope.
So you just cut it
I'm going to cut it at the C.
Right at that, you could cut it right at that casting piece.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to dumpster everything in between the 2 C's and the inner shafts. Because I can reuse the outer shaft, the stub shaft.
The inner shaft you could sell.
Well, I don't know if they can cut those down or if it's just a different shaft. It's probably easier just to do.
Well, don't you have a pretty good relationship with Brannick?
Yeah, I need to call them.
It's working on it.
I need to call them.
I feel like I would just have Brannick make me a set of chromos.
Yeah.
You're on 43s. 1550 is big, but
1480 is not small.
I wonder
what the difference between the 04 and the 05 is on the inner shaft size.
So,
because they're both 35 spline. That was the bad thing about the 04s was the outers were 30 spline.
The outers were weak as shit. So when you look at the unit bearing on
and
the
when you say weak
as
shit, what are we talking about?
Okay, I'm relative weak as shit. They're not a Dana 30.
Is it weak as shit compared to a Kingpin 60?
The problem with the Kingpin 60 is the knuckle. You're going to snap the top knuckle off or top of the knuckle off, or you're going to shear the high steer arm. That's the weak point.
If you're on 43s, or you're beating it.
Yeah, that's where I'm talking. I'm playing in that ballpark.
I know a certain somebody.
We don't have the 43s.
I know a certain somebody that listens to this podcast who's selling a certain somebody that listens to this podcast an 04 Dana 60 in a Sterling.
Oh yeah, there's no problem with that until you get to a point where
he says he's going to run 37s on it or 38s on it, and I was like,
golden
all day,
long, no problem.
Yeah. So he was getting a good deal like you're getting. I was like, do it now.
Yeah,
it's all relative.
I run the 99 04 in mine.
See, that's what I thought. I knew there was a couple guys running the 04s. Is Brad running an 04?
That was the go-to axle for ever.
I think it's still is.
Until the 05 up come out and they just honestly themselves.
Well, until the aftermarket. Because I think it took a few years before the aftermarket caught up. But once the aftermarket picked up on it, because the knuckles are so beef, there's just so much more material on the knuckles. Yeah.
So here's the mind blowing thing for me on the 05 plus Super Duties. You can run a factory, they come with a lockout, a manual lockout.
Yeah.
You can run, Warren makes a premium lockout.
Who? They suck.
Warren does.
Who?
Yeah, I wouldn't buy an Adam. I'd run a factory one.
Wrong side, buddy.
Would you just fall 8 foot out of the air there?
You're on the wrong side of the mic. I'm just saying, you can spin it.
We have rules and regulations for this. You got to look at Steve. Now, welcome to my world. I got to look at him. I'm sorry. I know you want to look at me, but you got to look over there.
He looks at you funny, though.
He eyes you up.
Hey there.
So, factory, they come with a lockout. You can run a Warren makes a replacement. But they
it's like
also,
OE. It's like a OE heavy duty.
yeah, I don't know what the
it's
fuck the
not- Do you know,
difference
Jeremy?
is.
What?
Did you go straight to Yukons when you
Straight
got yours?
Yukon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
Dude, after putting a set of Yukons in, there's no way.
Yukon
well, that's, I mean,
hardcore.
I'm sure
Just-
Yukon makes them. I was just had
No,
seen these.
Yukon. Nobody
Nobody
doesn't
doesn't
make
make
it
it?
for the 05
Oh.
Plus.
And just
so they don't.
And just for you guys,
I think maybe Warren and Mile Marker.
don't tell anybody.
Okay.
I'm working with somebody on a tool. I'm just saying.
I don't know what that means.
Okay.
Why?
So anyway,
Tool to do what?
I was working on a tool.
Okay.
About that
Well,
conversation.
come back with more info next time, next week then.
Yeah. Once we get it hands on and get it registered, we're good.
Okay. Thanks for that breaking news, I think.
You're welcome.
A tool for you or a tool for? I
Is he
want
the
to get. I want to get. He is, but
I am the tool.
I like to get to the bottom of this. Like, is it for the tool for the 9?
This is gonna be much like the whole "Why is the crane in the driveway?"
Oh God.
Well, we got to the bottom
we
of
get
why
into
the
that.
crane was in the driveway.
Maybe it's on his paper.
There's
You
nothing
didn't-
on
you
the
said
paper.
you were proud you weren't writing anything there.
He's like, I'm gonna use this for the 3rd week in a row.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what? So they make a lockout, then they make a drive slug. So then you can get really like, I didn't think you had to get this baller, but you do. You can run an RCV Big Bell, and I think I have to call them and find out. But I think East Coast Gear Supply makes just a not normal, but a stub shaft version of this with a 14 or 1550 U joint. So you don't have to run the RCV Big Bells. But they make, I think it's like 42 spline or whatever the hell the unit bearing is. So it's so fucking big that it literally doesn't use a drive slug or a lockout. It splines into the unit bearing. So it is like, it's so fucking massive of an axle stub shaft that it goes into the unit bearing.
Really?
And you just put a cap on the end of the unit bearing.
How
And
does
it is
that work?
direct AF. It's like fucking that big around. It's
That's rowdy.
stupid. It's also $4,000.
Do you have to machine the inside?
$4,000
$4,000
for RCV Big Bells for that
one
axle.
shaft.
No, that's for 2. Yeah, well, yeah, no shit.
two outers, $2,000 an outer. And I thought my Yukon 35 spline outers were salty.
I thought regular
That's-
RCVs were
Oh,
expensive as hell.
regular.
But Big Bell, bro. Oh.
It's a whole different ballpark,
Wow.
buddy.
But I was like, yeah, maybe I won't run lockouts or run a drive slug, and I'll just run Big Bells. And I was like, let's
Okay.
see how much those are. 4,000. We're gonna run fucking slugs. We're gonna
Stock
Jiminy
shafts,
Christmas.
U joints from the
Yeah,
junkyard.
I'm gonna go. Oh man, $4,000 for some Big Bells.
The price is so high. You're like, I'm just going completely the other way.
I'm gonna get out of this hobby. This is
I
ridiculous.
don't even have $4,000 in my front axle.
Yeah,
I don't.
Everything.
Never mind.
I do. I got over. I know. I kept a very detailed list of my front 14 steer. That's about.
I don't even wanna know.
Maybe I do. I might be closer to. I think even
How much is
the
that ARB?
junkyard axle-
1,200.
No, I got it used.
Oh shit!
So
Good
I think
deal.
I picked it up for like 4.
Well, that's a good
Nice.
deal.
Yeah.
That's a good price.
That's less than I paid for my zip
What?
lockers.
I think so. When I bought the axle, I guess we can go into my build details.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Oh,
why don't you just sit over there and shut up?
Okay.
That's what I did this
Right,
week.
guest.
Sorry.
So that's all I got.
You
I'm
actually did some
I'm gonna
things.
pick up my 09 and I'm gonna start building that.
He hasn't done anything
I ain't done
yet.
nothing. I did
He
the research.
web
I
wheeled.
paid
He
for it.
web
He
wheeled.
did. He did.
I
like,
paid for it.
He
So,
web
it's
shop timed.
a web shop.
Did you listen to the podcast while you were web shop
No,
timing?
I was working. I mean, I wasn't working, boss. Sorry, my bad.
No, shut that part off. Cut that out.
So that's all I got. So I will get into. I'm gonna tear it apart tomorrow when I get it, and I'm gonna get some stuff torn apart. So
Yeah.
I'll have some news next week. With that being said, we are now over an hour into this podcast. Now
Are
we
you
can
shitting
move
me?
off of section 1, which is what's new, to the guest intro.
We have
So,
sections.
It starts with a plan.
It's not numbered.
It just goes to shit real quick.
This is my whole plan.
I know.
but- and that was just 2 seconds ago written on there.
Let's introduce the guest finally, and then let's get into his
Okay,
background.
so,
and
Joining
from
us
there.
today on the podcast is a longtime listener, first time caller, and he won the contest to be the listener podcast. And it's Jeremy Wilson, Mr. 8 Lug Pigpen himself.
Hello.
Golf clap.
Is this thing
That
on?
does not sound like a clap. I'll say it. That is not right.
Clap or fap? I thought you said golf fap.
TBD.
So anyway, hi Jeremy, welcome. How you been, buddy?
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
It is getting a little late though.
Well,
No,
we
That
So
time
early.
change will do that to you.
What time?
Your time, my time.
Oh, 9:45. Oh, that's early for us.
Is that
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
Usually we're in
Oh.
here till like midnight.
Let's sell this bitch right on
Oh,
into
it's-
midnight. No, like all the time.
I may be
Yeah.
camping out on your couch.
I have one of those.
Yeah.
You snuggle with the dog.
That'd work.
Yeah, he's not bad.
Mine will eat you. I mean, it's not physically able to eat you, but he's going to try.
he's gonna gnaw
going to
the
gnaw
hell out
the
of
shit
you.
out of everything. Oh boy.
Good
Yeah.
chew on you.
That puppy life. Dude,
I was excited to meet Nugget.
my biggest issue is
Uh-huh.
like he's a puppy. He's
Yeah.
a 9-week-old puppy. Everything's a chew toy.
Mhm.
Everything.
So,
This is just the beginning.
How do you differentiate from a legit chew toy and like
The couch.
your shoe or the couch or your ankle or your arm or
You
your elbow
Like a swift, like of the
or
hand.
your beard? That has been the worst.
Catch
Oh,
the
look,
beard.
such a little cute little. And then he grabs a mouthful of beard hair and yanks, and oh my.
So
Woo.
I got one of those-
No different than kids.
I was
No.
gonna say, I got one of those at my house.
No
he grabs a
way.
handful of beard hair and just
Yeah.
starts pulling.
It's so unexpected.
That one's
you
that
go
one's
from
bad.
cute puppy snuggles to
Yeah.
like vicious. Oh,
I don't have a lot of chin hair, but when he like grabs my hair up here
Mhm.
and like
I
gets
can-
a full,
I can
just, like,
take
hand
the
roll.
head.
The temple hair is the
Oh,
worst. I mean,
yeah.
I keep mine pretty
this
close,
is
but
just
yeah.
bad.
We should stop talking about baby stuff.
I know somebody's gonna get triggered. If you're listening to the Patreon, you would understand that.
Yes.
All right, so back to
Jeremy,
it's been a good time. Back to Jeremy. So I want to hear, and I think that a couple people commented that they wanted to hear this also. How did you get into off-road stuff?
oh yeah, that'd be nice to know.
So I was telling Steve earlier that I had a Jeep Wrangler. It was a 2000 Wrangler, but I was 20 years old, so I couldn't afford
Yeah,
shit.
that sounds right.
Couldn't do anything to it. So I ended up getting rid of it, and I
But tell them why you got rid of it. Like you couldn't do anything, but what was cheaper?
to go low. So I could lower a car and get a set of wheels for half the price of what it would cost me to raise a Jeep and put a big set of tires on it.
Dude, I think everybody's gone through that mini truck low life.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
everybody's like, I need a lower truck.
When I had the Mazda, the first thing I did was put a set of like 31-inch tires on it, 2-wheel drive,
Just to
and
lower
go
it.
out and beat on it. And then I like tried to climb up a curb one night and like smoked the clutch.
Yep.
And I was like, you know what? This would be a lot easier to go down.
I'm going down. It's cheaper. It's easier.
Shit,
You
It
don't
went
have
down.
to your rockers can be gone.
I
Nobody
had
sees them.
so many people
So,
just cutting
yes.
the springs. Like I can't afford
Yep.
a lowering kit. Just cut a
Yep.
couple of rungs off of it.
Torch a couple of coils off.
New sticker going to the board.
Dude, that's so pimp.
That sticker's dope.
So you bought a 2000
I did.
Wrangler.
2000 Wrangler, and I kept it. So my whole reasoning for buying the Wrangler was like top off, pick up girls. It was all female
Chick
related.
magnet.
Yeah, I thought so, but that didn't pay out.
You attract creepy dudes who are like, bro, nice Jeep, man. Let's
Yeah.
go wheeling.
Yeah.
From experience, I can tell you weren't doing it right.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, if you were trying to pick up chicks and it didn't work,
Mm-hmm.
you were not doing it right.
Oh, I don't even know if I attempted.
We had a 99 Sahara and 3 dudes and 4 chicks.
Now when
They fit ish.
me and my brother drove it to Panama City.
Oh yeah,
It was a hit
worked.
down there.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
We were on campus here.
Oh well, yeah,
So,
that's different.
It was a
different.
hit.
Yeah. So Panama City was a hit. It was nice.
Yeah,
But yeah, it was just cheaper to
It
go
was
low
nice.
than it was to go high. So
Yep.
that went away because I wasn't making shit for money. And then I don't know how many.
All
That
of
was
us at
2000. I ended up buying another Jeep. I ended up buying my Jeep in 2013 because my neighbor at the time, her boyfriend had a pretty nice JK. I think he had 30. I want to say he had 37s on it, and it was pretty built. So daily, I'd see this thing, and I was like, "Man, I'd love to get back in a Jeep." I've wanted to for a while, but couldn't afford it. And then this one come up for sale. I'd seen it every day on the way home. at the car lot, and then watch the price, and then they dropped it. I feel like $4,000.
You're like, ooh,
Yeah,
time to get closer.
Time to go to the dealership. So I bought it, and I think my first mod was plastic dip in the wheels.
Was it stock when you bought it?
100%.
Wow.
100% stock. It had 8,000 miles on it.
Jiminy Christmas.
What trim level is that?
Sport.
Sport. So it's a fairly base model.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It just, wheel package?
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
think
so
it's
like the X, then the Sport.
Yeah, I have
So-
no clue about this.
Yeah. So
It's still a JK.
I feel like in 2011, and somebody will correct me or
Oh, they'll let you know when you're wrong.
Oh, yes, they will.
So-
Boy.
pre 2011, the wheels that I had stock were Rubicon wheels.
Oh, okay.
And then 2011, I believe it was, they started offering this Rubicon wheels in the sport package. So it had the nicer wheels.
The Moab wheels.
Yeah.
The Moab style.
The
just the
5-spoke
The
flat.
silver. Yeah.
Yep.
They were
The one that everybody's trying to sell for like $500 on Marketplace.
I guess I didn't know. So I knew they were Rubicon pre 2007, but I didn't.
Okay, well, that may be.
I don't know. I can't give you the gap between 7 and 11
So
if they were on there or not.
So the reason I'm saying 11 is because from 07 or from 7 to 10 was the old interior. 2011 got the new upgraded interior. 2012 got the upgraded motor.
Nice.
So I got the nicer interior, the shittier motor.
Yeah, I have that.
Yeah.
So
And at the time, I didn't know this.
You were just, I want a Jeep.
Yeah. I was like, if I'd have known that the 3.8 was a turd or trash, I would have probably kept an eye out for 2012. It has not.
Well, see, there we go.
But it's only got like 85,000 miles.
It's doing good.
Okay, so your wheels, the wheels you're talking about, were available on non-Rubicon in 2008.
2008. Okay.
But here's the caveat. The wheel that they used on the Rubicon was really similar,
But it was different.
but it's different. You see the lip on the inside of the spoke?
Yep. Okay.
That's a Rubicon.
Okay.
And so that's the same style they used on the TJ. The TJ had that same little ring around the inside there.
Only on the Rubicon, though.
Only on the Rubicon. So the wheel, they changed it ever so slightly, but they were like, hey, this is the Rubicon trim package. So we'll change this wheel.
Change it just enough.
Just enough. Yep. And make you think that you're getting that higher end, but yet you're getting it for a sport price.
So yeah, that was 2013. And within 3 months, I had lift kit and some 315 tires.
I love it. Isn't it wonderful when you buy something like you first get something that's so shiny that like you do all this stuff like right away.
Yep.
And you look back at the timeline, you're like, oh God.
Yeah. I had like, I don't even think I'd put 3,000 miles on it yet. And I'd already had a 2.5 inch Terraflex kit.
All new tires.
Yeah. Yep.
The wife's like, wait a minute.
Why? What are you doing?
Didn't we just buy this? Were we happy about this?
And the funny thing is, and I feel like it's on every vehicle I've ever owned, when I get into it, I'm like, all right, I'm extended. I can't afford to do anything.
Yeah.
And then it feel like turn around
Somewhere
a week later, I'm
this
buying
money.
something for it. Because I had a Harley.
Magically find this money.
I had a Harley, and I wanted to do all this stuff to the Harley. I wanted to do the big 20-inch front wheel, the big bags in the back and stuff like that. I was like, man, I can't afford to do this shit. I get the Jeep, and 3 months later, I've got what, 15 or
enough to buy all that.
I think my lift kit was like $800.
That's not
and
terrible.
then $1,500. I think
Was just a rough
maybe
country lift?
$2,200 Terraflex.
Oh, Terraflex, you said that.
So I think $3,000 within 3 months.
Are you still running the Terraflex springs?
No, I'm on Metal Cloak now.
Oh, are you on Metal Cloak? Man, I love my Metal Cloak.
When I went 37s, I had to get rid of the 2.5.
I get you.
So
Makes
it was my
Now you got them big old Foudies.
Big old phones?
no, 40s are gone.
Oh, that's right. He's 39.5.
39s.
Oh, the
Okay.
39
They're
evens.
not even, 39 evens.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Okay, I was going to say 39 5s or 40s, but 39s.
I don't feel like it is. Like, I feel like if you measure a 39.5, any 39.5.
Oh, yeah, no 39.5 measures 39.5. It's just, I mean, but
37.
What 40 measures 40?
Right.
I think mine's pretty close.
I haven't measured the crawlers. So I don't know.
They're probably 38.5, 39s. Somewhere
My
in the ballpark.
30 I would say
39.5
probably
IROCs are
38.
38s.
Your IROCs were 38s?
Yeah.
They were 43s.
They were 39.5. The 43s, before, the only time I've measured them that I
they were in the living
remember
room.
was when they were new. They were mounted with like, I don't know, 8 PSI in them. And they were like 42.5
Yeah.
on a 7 or 8 inch wheel.
I could probably get them to 39 if I run 60 PSI in them.
Yeah.
Because what did we say? We said that to measure a TSL, it was at max pressure and it was based off the radius. You do the radius divided by 3.14, and that gives you the tire diameter.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's some fucked up marketing math is what
Yeah,
it
I was
is.
gonna
Yeah.
say, you take a ruler, you're sitting on top, you throw a tape measure on the ground, and
And
like
you go, why is it 3 inches short?
Yeah, this is, I've been fucked over. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that this tape measure is broken because this is not the first thing
I
it's measured
know
wrong.
I paid for all 40 inches.
Yeah, I bought the whole thing and I got screwed.
Yeah. I know I measured the Patagonias just for my programmer, but I don't remember what it was. But
Yeah.
the
I think they were pretty close. They were pretty true in their sizing. It
and
just compounds
I
garbage.
honestly, when I put the 39 crawlers on there, I have not adjusted the programmer,
I
so
bet it's pretty close.
it's got to be close enough.
So when you went from your patties over to your crawlers and you hit the first like actual wheeling outing,
That was the Trail Riders run. No, not really. I went to a buddy's house, Saltzman.
Yeah.
Which,
but that wasn't like an outing. Like that was out.
It wasn't.
woods.
I don't know. Yeah, it was all dirt.
Could you tell the difference?
I didn't air down.
Oh yeah, so not really. You didn't notice.
I mean,
they worked.
They worked.
Yeah.
They just.
So
They
the
just
Trail Riders
went.
run was the first run.
Yep.
What'd you think when you got onto the first like rock? I guess I can't really compare that weekend because that weekend was so dry.
Mm-hmm.
It was
But
everything
it's
sticks.
still, I didn't have the side to side. I wasn't like ass in falling off, like slipping to the side. Yeah.
Oh.
That was the biggest complaint about the patties was
You'd fall off. It didn't have the side lug to hold it, or just the pattern?
Well, we have sandstone.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised anything works on it.
Works great. Some stuff.
Just when you go to spin or you go to push forward, it would move to the side. The tire would shift.
Yeah.
So.
But and you didn't feel that so much with the crawlers.
No.
Was it the sidewall
I wonder if it's
flexing?
a
Like, is it the sidewall giving that tire letting it flex?
They were it D-rated tires? So, I mean, the sidewall was pretty stiff.
Sure
it did take a couple outings for the patties to loosen up.
Yeah.
But the crawlers have been used many times, so they're broken in.
So what if it's about the tread pattern? Because the patties have such a tight road.
See, that's
a road type tread
37
pattern.
and down. The is it siping?
Yep.
Yeah.
Is much bigger on the 37 down.
On the patties.
Yeah. It's stupid.
Weird.
When they went over or the 30, I don't even know if they make a 38, but the 40s.
Yeah, Mike runs. Mike was running them.
The 38s.
Yeah. 38s.
It's so narrow.
Mm-hmm.
And I had talked to you about it, borrowing your groove gun.
Yeah.
And re-grooving them. But
it's definitely something nice to have in the old arsenal.
They're sitting in the side of the garage right now, so
they gonna go down the road.
I'd like to
cut somebody shows up with the dollars.
Yeah, I'd like to cut up my SXs.
Y'all want
some stickies?
Your stickies?
Yeah.
Would you? You were saying you want to leave them alone.
I know.
We're getting off track. This is Jeremy's hour.
I know. I'm over here like, I want to cut up my tires.
Almost 35s and 2.5-inch lift to 40s and tons.
40s.
Isn't that how it happens?
That's how it works, man. Everybody knows that's how it works.
Like, wait, he's on 40s. Is he still on stock axles?
Yes.
But no, it was I've had the Jeep for 7 years, so it's been a pretty long progression, I guess. So I went from the 315s to 30. Did I go 35s? I don't know if I even went actual 35s. I think I just went up to Cooper STTs in the 37.
Okay.
And at that point I had already had a trip to Windrock and had a tree hit my rear passenger door, go take off my rear fender and just put a hella dent.
Nice.
Not quite a crease.
Is it still there?
It is on the full door. It's there.
Yeah.
And then, but you can't see the back because I bought a set of Evo builder corners. So I have no rear fender now. Well, when I went 37s, I had to go up because my tire was getting into that builder corner.
Right. This is you were still in the 2.5 inch at that time. Gotcha.
So then that's when it really started progressing. When I hit the 37s, now you got to do so every little thing you do, you got to do something to counteract it.
Yep.
So 37s.
You are not lying.
With the Evo made me go 3.5 inch springs. So now I got metal cloak 3.5s.
3.5 inch springs on 40s.
That's
Bullshit.
life. That's JK life.
That's
right?
JK life.
And I think I think JLs you can do 37s with stock fenders.
Stock fenders.
Hell,
do the high lines and you're good.
No, I think you can do 35s with no lift on a JL.
God,
that's insane.
That's crazy. Anyway,
so I had my Dana 30, or still stock axles, and I think
on 37s.
Yeah.
Shoo.
Oh yeah, I ran stock axles for a while, and I had ARB front and rear, and then RCVs in the front. So at 513 gears. So I did everything to make everything weak, right? The ring and pinion was my weak link. But it wheeled fine. And I think my out of balance tires is what cracked my front axle tubes. So cracked axle tube, right? So it was sleeved. So, but it still cracked. And at that point, I was like, all right, I'm not putting any more money into this thing, this 30. We're going all out. Buddy had a Dana 60, already trust. He was in the process of building it. And he said, hey, you want it? Sure. Hell yeah. I'll come get it. So that started the 60 build. I had to do some work to it still. He told me it was ready to go, but I had to gear it. Didn't have any brakes. Yeah. And when you got to buy all the brakes, Jesus. That shit's expensive. That was salty.
Yeah.
But I got
we had that conversation.
Yeah. And the steering, the high steer on it sucked. So like he was talking earlier, the 05 Plus is so much more supported now on high steer than the 9904.
Well, I found out, side tangent, you can do a weld on high steer is actually favored over a machined keyed and drilled high steer.
I have a weld on,
which is wild to me because I'm like, you would think old school thought process, you machine it flat, machine a key and bolt it on.
So are you thinking just broken bolts? Because there's a few of them that when you machine it, you machine a like slot.
Like the keyway to key and bolts.
So that would be a much better option than
I just think like,
bolts.
all right, if I say this, which one's better?
As far as
welding, like weld your high steer on. And see, the key with me is with that welded, you're tying into that factory, I guess tie rod. It would have been a tie rod from factory.
No.
But you could tie it into that if you wanted to.
I'm trying to think. I don't think mine is. My factory tie rod location, because mine had, what is it called? The Y-link steering.
Yeah.
So I think it's down low, and I'm just using a 1-inch bolt, 3/4 inch bolt all the way through. I don't think the actual weld-in high steer is tied to that, welded to that.
I would love to have my top bolt of my high steer go down through my tie rod and just have it all in like one bolt, double shear everything. I would love to do that. But at the time with 15-inch wheels, I couldn't do it.
Yep.
Yeah, it was in the way. But now that I have 17s, I could definitely do it.
Well, I've got 17s now too, and it's still close.
Yeah. But your knuckle was designed around a 17-inch wheel.
I would imagine. I have Jesse Haynes Fab.
Oh, you have
Jesse Haynes Fab high steer, and they weren't designed for anything.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that makes sense.
They were designed for a buggy.
Yeah, right.
To run the Dana 60s, he did not have the JK in mind.
Right. Yeah,
which would have been nice if he did, because the bolt holes would have been in the proper place. I think I spent a week trying to figure out the steering geometry.
Really,
on where to put the drag link, and it's still not right because my steering left to right is still not. I can't go lock to lock.
Really,
really.
I can go.
That's odd.
I think it's passenger side. I can go full lock. I can't go full lock driver.
And that's because of where it's at on the arm?
Drag link is on the arm. Yep.
Drill a new hole.
New knuckles.
Well, and I have thought about doing the new knuckles because there is a better high steer options now.
Yeah. So what year did you do the ton swap?
Shit, I don't know.
You remember how long ago that was?
We are waiting.
2 years. I mean, at least
like,
2
let me
years.
get my Google Photos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me go back to the 14 bolt. I think was 2 years. It wasn't last winter. I think it was the winter before was the 14 bolt.
Okay.
So I bought this Dana 60 front. So my intentions were to just replace my Dana 30.
Yeah.
And then because the guy I bought it off of had already bought 5.5 space or unit bearings from Curry, which salty as hell. It's like $450 a unit bearing.
There's some money there.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm just going to use these because I paid for them.
Right.
I don't think I can really sell them. Because what's my market on that?
Who ton swaps and keeps 5 lug?
Yeah.
Who's that guy?
Light buggies.
Yes.
A lot of small
comp stuff.
You're right. Yeah. That'd be
Um,
great.
So I was like, all right, well, I could easily do an adapter in the rear, 5.5 or 5x5, which is the JK pattern, to the 5.5.
Mm-hmm.
Just buy the adapters, and I can run the 60 front until I can find a good deal on a 14 bolt.
Right.
And I did that for a while once I got the steering figured out. And actually, I didn't even do that for a while. I don't even know if I don't think I ever wheeled it.
Did you write any notes down for this?
Not at all.
I didn't get. To be fair, I didn't give him a note sheet, so
Not at all.
my bad.
But no, I drove it on the road.
Yeah.
I did some testing of clearance and stuff like that. And what is it? Offer Up,
Mm-hmm.
that app. Just so we'll rewind a little bit. Earlier in the summer, I had noticed a 14 bolt already set up for a JK.
Yeah.
The truss, it was bolt in ready for a JK, other than 3-link.
Yeah.
But the pricing he had on it was pretty high.
Uh-huh.
And I watched it, and he went down on the price.
You're like, us getting closer.
It's kind of like the
I
Jeep.
love those,
Just
yeah.
watch the price. But then it disappeared. It wasn't on there.
Mhm.
And then it popped up on Offer Up. And I was like, all right, well, this dude's been trying to sell this thing for a minute.
Yeah.
And so I hit him up, and I paid $500
Oh boy.
for the 14 bolt, already trussed,
Uh-huh.
already shaved, rotor to rotor. I mean, it was complete.
Did you have to re-gear it?
Set up for a 3-link, but I had to re-gear.
Okay. I mean, it's still not a bad deal. Like that's
So it saved me on the
Especially if you don't
rock
have the
crawler
tools.
3-link setup, the truss, and everything was ready to go. I didn't have to cut anything up.
Mhm.
But the gearing, I went through East Coast Gear Supply. They already sell shaved ring gears, but they don't offer, because it's shaved, they don't offer the Yes Plan on the Yukon.
Right.
So unfortunately, my ring gear's not. But he did tell me he would, if something was to happen,
Uh-huh.
he would work with me.
Right.
So
How'd you shave it?
I didn't.
Oh, you ordered
it was
shaved.
already done.
East Coast Gear Supply sells them already shaved for
Gotcha.
the
Nice.
15.
Did you said something about a rock crawler 3-link?
Yes.
It came with that?
So I had to buy the frame mounts
Uh-huh.
from Rock Crawler.
But it came with all the links and stuff? And the
No.
what? Oh, okay.
Nope. They come. I got some Dom tubing,
Yeah.
DOM, whatever you
Dom.
want to call it.
Dumb.
I did get some tubing with the front axle, so I had to do all my own links. I'm 3-link in the front, so all 3 links in the front are just DOM tube that I cut and welded. The rear, I went with Rock Crawler upper link
Mhm.
because it's got some funky bend and it's solid. It's not
Really?
hollow. Yeah,
Wow.
it's, dude, it's like 30 pounds. It's ridiculous.
Here, this won't break.
Yeah,
This is insane.
And
Rick, take
then
notes.
my lower links are just DOM as well.
Yeah.
2-inch.
That
Yeah,
would sound
2-inch.
right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Hell yeah.
so yeah, I did all the control arms. I didn't have to do any of the axle welding.
Yeah.
which was nice.
The frame mounts for the 3-link, were those weld on or bolt on?
Weld on.
Weld on.
Yep.
Did you get a welder to do that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought I bought a welder, 220 welder from Jegs. It's Jegs brand 220 welder.
Yes.
So an old buddy of mine, he's a fabricator, works in a shop. That's what he did for a living was welding. He's like, this is legit. He said, if I would buy this right now if I didn't already have this. Yeah.
Wow.
So I was like, oh shit, I'll give it a shot. It's like $250 or something like that. It was super cheap.
So who makes it? Like, does somebody has to make it?
It's probably the Harbor Freight.
It's the same one you get from Eastwood.
The Vulcan.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah. Like,
It's
there's
just
only so many
rebranded.
people that make a welder.
Yeah. It's all ESOB.
Yeah. That's like Hobart. Like, I order non-Hobart parts from Hobart.
Right.
It's like shit shows up not in a Hobart bag.
Like my cousin ordered one from Matco.
Yep.
And it shows up and it's just a Miller 210 with a Matco badge.
Yeah,
on
I can all the consumables. I can go to Harbor Freight to get all the consumables for
really?
it. Yeah, it's
that's nice right there.
Yeah.
And it's been good, huh?
It's been great.
Damn, I'm gonna get me one of them.
I'm really thinking about picking up one of those like $50
plasma cutters.
Plasma cutters.
He had like an $80 plasma cutter. How much is your plasma cutter?
Which one?
The shit box. I mean the suitcase. The little one from eBay.
Oh, I don't know, maybe $150.
The throwaway one.
Yeah, $150.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cheap.
Yeah.
Works good.
Yeah, I just need it for like 1/4 inch.
Just like buzzing
brackets and stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
It's the like cut 50 on eBay.
Cut 50.
Yeah, it's the consumables are cheap as shit. If you order them ahead of time and buy them straight from China, they're cheap. But
they come with coronavirus.
Everything does these days.
Shit is real.
That's why we did this podcast now, because our states are about to go lockdown.
Yes.
Yeah, our state's in lockdown.
$175.
Yeah.
$169.99. Like,
what are you saying? Harbor Freight's got them for cheap?
What?
You were saying like get like a $50
no, like Amazon. I mean,
really?
You have to
some cheap.
So cheap.
Yeah.
I watch too much YouTube.
It is a consumable. The whole thing is a consumable.
New tip, dumpster. I'll take another plasma, please.
If you didn't have to wait a week to get it.
If it lasts you 6 months, I mean.
Well, that's what I did.
If it lasts you for one job.
It lasted long enough. And then the one time, I don't remember how the second one died. The first one, I have my 220 in the one corner is split. So I have a plug for my compressor and I have another plug.
Yeah.
And I usually don't run the compressor on the 220 and it's all in the same 220. So I was plasma cutting something and the compressor kicked on and I went, and the plasma cutter died. And I was like, now I see why you don't do that. So
that's gotta be annoying. You run the plasma cutter until the compressor gets low.
Yeah.
And then you unplug it.
I don't do
You just stop.
You just stop, shut off, and then turn the compressor on.
Yeah. My assumption with it was the welder. I was going to plug my welder in there, and how often are you using a compressor?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So now I got the plasma. That problem's fixed. I don't remember how the other one died.
I didn't even think about the plasma needing air.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's the annoying part.
That's the irony of it. Yeah. Because I just wanted two plugs right there, so I didn't have to unplug my compressor to plug my welder in and then switch the plugs.
Right.
I don't use the compressor and the welder at the same time. Never
They got
been
those
a problem.
fancy switches that you go. Boom.
Oh, I like that. That'd be so.
It's just rewired now on a separate breaker.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
so that's
anyway.
I mean, but the damn thing for $175, like it cut 4-inch plate all day long.
Yeah.
You might cut a little bit slower than like it cuts a little slower than my Miller does now, but like it's $175.
That Miller's nice.
It is nice.
It
wasn't $175.
What's that thing cost new?
Like I want to say it was like $1,200 or $1,300.
It's not that bad.
For a plasma?
Yeah.
It's nice.
That only does one thing.
Oh yeah,
dude. It is smaller than your cooler.
Yeah.
It's like a third. It's like half the size of your cooler.
Really?
It's tiny. It is
110
tiny.
or 220. I bought it for like a steal.
Well, he got a good deal on it used, but
that's what I mean. Like, but for $175, I'd kept buying them fuckers all day long.
The plasma cutter is the same size or smaller than this.
Yeah, it's
nice.
It's smaller than it.
You think it's smaller than this? It's about the same size as the body.
Yeah,
you said it's a suitcase one, right? So it's
little. No, it ain't that long.
It's about yay long.
Look at him.
It's lunchbox.
It is lunchbox.
Yeah.
It is tiny. The entire case of it, you couldn't fit a ukulele in.
It's $1,200, and you have a $175 one.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously,
is it worth it?
Here's why I bought it.
Well, are you buying for your garage?
Yep.
All right. So your home garage, when was the last time you used a plasma cutter?
My plasma cutter's been at somebody else's house for about 2 months. So
we're looking at you, Steve.
And not looking at me.
Oh.
No.
I don't know who it is, but it ain't me.
Yeah.
I had it this winter and I didn't keep it for that long.
The only reason I bought this specific Miller is 2 reasons. One, the plasma table that I was looking at.
Oh, yeah.
Takes that machine. You can use the handheld torch.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to upgrade to a machine style torch for the plasma table.
Right.
And this specific plasma cutter, you can switch it to a machine torch if you end up going with a different plasma table.
Yeah, so you can.
So you can run a machine. So you can run. Because I wanted one from a plasma table,
right?
Whereas the old 175 eBay special, the trigger's zip tied onto the fucking handle. Like it works great. It works fucking great, but it doesn't go into the machine head to run on the plasma table that I am still prospectively wanting.
I was thinking, did you get that yet?
Oh God, I bought other shit.
When that shop goes out back though, then you'll get one.
But yeah, I'd like one.
Right.
I'm tired of paying people for tabs.
Right.
So that's the only reason I bought that. And I got it for a smoking deal.
Eventually, you're going to run out of the need for tabs.
You think so?
No, start building something else.
You really think so? Because I went wheeling once.
And you're
already need tabs for the rear steer.
Yeah, it's very true. Very true.
I have a sickness.
You definitely have a sick. You go wheeling one time and you're
My
like,
problem was I was planning on doing all this research on the rear steer so I knew and made like good informed decisions. And I'm starting to browse prices to get like, see how much it's going to cost me. And I found this axle for $200 and I was like, fuck.
There we go.
You can't pass that up.
Nope.
So even if I throw it out back and don't do anything, you can't pass it up.
Right.
But me, I'm like, wow, I should start cutting this and start, I don't know.
But that's free.
Yeah.
Right. It costs nothing to get the knuckles off.
I'm doing the easy part now.
Yeah.
But the nice thing is I don't have to cut I can build it.
Mm-hmm.
I already know my link stuff and where everything needs to go.
Yep.
So I can literally build it out of the truck and still wheel.
So
that's my plus.
You need Derek to come down here and draw it all up.
I need somebody in CAD. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just hit up Jake.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll stop what he's doing and help me out.
Yeah, just give you all the free information.
Jake Tuma?
Oh, I thought you meant Jake Berkey. I was like, Jake Berkey. He's not going to do a damn thing for me in CAD.
Tell you, my boy.
Got you. Hey, Jake told me I was a good customer once.
Good, because you paid on time.
And I'm hanging on to that one. I reeled it in and I'm like, put that in the pocket.
You know what Jacob did for me?
What? He custom built some stuff for you.
Yeah.
Berkey?
And I was nobody.
The other guy.
Who? Never heard of her.
Oh,
anyway.
Shit. Here we go. When he listens to this podcast, he's going to be offended.
Oh, that's fine. Get a strongly worded email.
Yes.
Anyway. And then on top of that, after I bought just a few things from him, my van is the advertisement
on the website
on Facebook. I was scrolling Facebook the other day. I was like, "Oh, that's my van." Well, it's not my ad. That's my van.
You getting royalties on that?
No,
a couple pennies on the dollar.
He sent me things.
Shit,
he took care of me.
You got something.
Yeah,
that's how it works.
Got my van putting in on the internets.
So, getting back to this conversation.
Oh, we're talking about
you're on tons.
Yep.
You're on 39s.
Yep.
Yes.
I don't know what I mean. I've seen it wheel. It works fucking great.
Oh yeah.
So I have the 14 volt. Somebody needs, or I think it's Oxlocker. They need to hurry up and come up with
preach to the choir.
Something. The ARB.
It's out because I was watching.
There's one person.
Yeah, it's a lady
tester. Yeah, and
who was it that interviewed her? Flex Rocks and Rollovers.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah,
yeah. She was talking about. She was talking about they were
in the past 5 videos or something they posted.
It's a white Jeep,
and she's praising it. It's there. It just needs to be released.
It's R&D, man. They got to get it. They got to make sure it works before they throw it out there. So maybe in the next year we'll see it.
You have the ARB, but it's like what, $2,000 or something.
Yeah. How much less do you think Ox will be?
That's what I mean. I want to know if they're going to be competitive.
Do is come in at $1,500.
That's what I mean. You don't have.
I bet they come in at $1,800.
I don't know.
Think it'd be low.
How many? So many people are wanting this. You come in at 15.
It blows my mind that Yukon hasn't made a zip locker yet.
I don't understand how.
What is it that's so hard?
It's so popular. I don't understand how it's not happened. But I'm running a torque locker
in the rear. Is that the same as like a Detroit?
Yeah.
Yeah, mechanical
ratcheting. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
And so far it's done me great. It chirps on the corners.
Yeah,
but
they all do.
I think part of that is my
heavy foot.
My scrub radius too.
Oh yeah.
It's off. But I have an ARB in the front. I got it for.
How do you fix a scrub radius?
I don't know. Okay. If I did, I'd already done it.
Okay. Just curious.
My Google's not strong enough. I don't know
My Google's not strong enough.
I don't know the verbiage. I
will bet you $5 that somebody that listens to this podcast can tell you
we'll have an answer by Wednesday.
Yeah, tell you how to make that better.
Yeah. So I thought it was all based on. So it's like your ball joint. It's the center of the wheel compared to the ball joint. It's something to do with that,
right?
Like the distance on that and. Ackerman.
Yeah, that part I don't get. I try to follow that. I just don't understand it.
Yeah, I don't either. So I push in turns. I mean, it is what it is.
I feel like that's how the 44 is for me.
But I have an ARB in the front, which is selectable. I love it. Mm-hmm. I want something for the back.
Right.
But Dana or Yukon gears all the way around, Yukon outer stubs in the front. 35 spline, which kind of sucks because now if I buy a new unit bearing, I have to take it to machine shop and have a board and new bearing put in it. But
it's just how it goes.
Yeah,
it's part of playing with the big boys.
Yep. Uh-huh. I need to get one. So if something does happen on the trail, I have a way to get it home.
Well, that'd be good to have, wouldn't it? You're gonna be up a shit creek now.
Yeah, I've got to run re-drilled. So here's my. Oh, that's another fucking.
We'll get into that last call.
Well, and that's another thing. I've got re-drilled my unit bearings. I re-drilled from 8170 to 86.5.
Right, so you can take your spacers off.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Because the new wheels,
that helped your scrub radius, didn't it?
I was hoping it would.
Yeah,
but I don't think it did.
Really?
Because
the
Hummer wheels were 5.5 offset.
Oh.
And the new wheels are 4.25. So it
literally did nothing.
Yeah, just left it alone.
So
damn it.
Well, I mean, I think 4.5 is ideal offset for a JK.
Okay.
I don't like you doing that.
It looks like you're tricking yourself off over here. I don't know what you're doing, but as soon as he said it, I'm like, it does look a little wrong. The table's
I don't even want to look over that direction. I'm just going to look straight forward. Because I can see it out of the corner of my eye.
I had my ring.
You ought to see what he does when the phone guests are on. Like nobody calls him out on it. Oh man,
you're going to have to start paying a little more attention to him so we know when he's over here.
I just sit here.
This is why we don't have a camera up here.
Yeah, we can't put that on the internet. We get sued real bad.
Yeah, because then you try to edit it out in the audio and the video.
Like, where'd that go?
Throw a picture of a Jeep up there or something.
You just put it over it.
Steve's blurred out.
Anyway.
So, yeah, I mean, as far as suspension and axles and stuff go, I'm pretty much done.
Hell yeah.
Oh, we're getting the beers out.
I want
to talk about YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got a YouTube thing going down, huh?
I'm trying.
Yes,
I don't try real hard.
No, but it's there.
You know what?
I don't even know how many videos I've posted.
When I get low key back together, and I get my toe pig back, and Corona's not being so stupid, and we have some like way to control this. Hopefully you and I can get out and about more.
Mm-hmm. The bad thing is
do like a run to Redbird. Like
Redbird
during the week,
would be nice.
Like schedule a couple days off during the week, like here and there, a day off during the week here and there, and go hit like a Redbird. Go hit like we can hit Badlands 3 or 4 times and get different footage from different obstacles.
Yep.
And I'll bet you we can make 5 videos at Badlands and never have repeat stuff.
So Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What I've found on my past couple videos, I was like, it's what, a 20-minute video or something like that.
You got to chop that down.
Dude, it's so hard.
What do you
and
mean?
even in that 20-minute video, it's
Yeah.
like 2 obstacles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because we're running with like 5 and 6 rigs, and then you
Right. And that's
record
pretty-
everybody.
So you do, I was telling Lincoln this the other day about his video. I said, instead of dropping a 45-minute video that I have to now sit down
Mhm.
for 45 minutes and watch this, I said, drop 3 15-minute videos or 4 10-minute videos.
Yeah.
So
he's like, oh, that's not a bad idea.
My longest video here is...
That's the problem I find. It's hard to sit for 45 minutes. Like for me, to set aside 45 minutes to watch a wheeling video.
So 24 minutes is my longest. And honestly, I feel...
That's a lot of four-wheeling.
And I think that
24
one
minutes?
was a long one. It was a good one.
Have you been watching your analytics on that?
No.
Okay.
I don't pay nothing.
I was just curious.
I don't have enough
Yeah.
to really...
Right.
I mean, I just broke 100 subscribers
Hey.
a couple weeks ago, which was...
That's not bad.
It's a milestone big enough that
If you-
YouTube's sent me an email and said, hey, congratulations.
Hell yeah.
I was like, I didn't even realize it was even close.
Did anybody send you a podcast? Congratulations?
Nope.
See?
You should have. You're 200. You should have.
No. Well,
No, not for YouTube.
YouTube, we might have got one.
Libsyn didn't care
So
at all.
a lot of my, when I watch wheeling videos,
Yeah.
I'll turn it on and I'm bad. I'll get on my phone
Yep.
and it's playing
Uh-huh.
and I'm watching and I'm back and forth on
Right.
it. So
While you're surfing other off-road things.
correct.
Yep.
Correct.
Face pages.
Looking at all the money, spending
Trail
all the
ride.
monies.
Looking at the Trail Riders group, seeing what everybody's up to.
Yeah, it's a shit show.
Yeah.
I love it. It's my favorite shit show on the internet.
Oh yeah. But no, I started in the garage.
Yeah.
Just recording
Yeah,
stuff
I
that I
like
was
those
doing.
videos. And then, like, you stop doing them. You're like, oh, like,
I don't have anything anymore.
well, get the fucking work, Chuck.
That means I got to spend money. I'm not
Welcome
gonna,
to my life.
I'm not going to go broke for YouTube. That was like
Well, you
I'm
should see.
not going to do all that, but
You gotta go broke to make money.
that's what they say. But how
That's
long?
my story, and I'm sticking to it.
How long do you have to go on YouTube? Like you got to have 1,000 subscribers
To start
and an
running ads.
ungodly amount of watch time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
that's the biggest thing. Put stuff on YouTube that people want to watch.
yes,
Yep.
Like all of.
my best performing video is a water pump or power steering pump replacement on my son's Scion
You
Yeah.
know why?
because
People.
people need to learn how.
Because people want to know
Yeah.
how to do it.
So and I tried a couple
I'd get into
things.
some other stuff, but you know,
You get smacked with a clipboard.
But
I'm learning.
I'm trying. So and that kind of goes back to I think we talked about earlier. It's so hard. I think it was actually on the Patreon. It's so hard to record. Like you've got to set a camera up here.
Yep.
And then you do a little bit, and then you got to move the camera over here. Do
Is
a
it
little
really-
bit. It
is
just
it really that
adds
hard?
so much time.
Is it really that hard?
It adds quite a bit of time.
Is it worth it?
I don't know.
Depends on how much free time you have.
Yeah.
Will it be worth it in 10 years for you to be able to go back and watch those videos?
Will YouTube
In
be there
serious-
in 10 years?
I don't know.
Will I be here in 10 years?
Were they asking that same question 10 years ago about YouTube?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
it's still there.
Was YouTube around 10 years ago?
Oh yeah. What do you mean?
What-
Bleeping Jeep's been around for 11.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, and it's been around
What
for
was
longer.
it, 07? 07 sticking out in my mind.
Something 04. It was somewhere in there.
Hmm.
Mid to early 2000s.
Speaking of YouTube, where can we find? Let's get you some new subscribers.
There you
All right.
go.
Where can we find your YouTube at?
8 Lug Productions.
Promotion.
I had to write it down because I always call it 8 Lug Promotions. I don't know why. Because I promote the 8 Lug lifestyle, I
Yeah.
guess. I don't
Yeah.
know, but
There
I
you
wrote
go.
it down.
And that was the whole thing. I had an 8 Lug Jeep and pig pen. So actually, I think it was my first outing ever
Mm-hmm.
down at that
Where's it at?
Kentucky,
Which one?
just
Harlan?
south of Madison.
Oh, I don't know.
Harlan,
No, they have the rock bouncer races there.
Haspin,
That's
That's
Hood and
Indiana.
Holler.
Yeah.
I'm just spouting shit. Where are we?
Oh my God.
I don't even know what state
Dirty
you're
Turtle?
in right now. I was reading.
Dirty Turtle. Dirty Turtle. That's it.
the other.
YouTube was created in February 14th, 2005.
2005. All right. 15 years old. And I'm coming up on my 1 year of starting my YouTube channel.
Wow.
But so my first outing ever, a 2.5-inch lift kit, I went to step over a rut or step from, over a rut to the center.
Uh-huh.
And my foot slipped flat on my ass. Back, just
Is that
covered.
on YouTube now?
It is not.
Oh, I was like, I'm gonna go watch that right now. Hell
But that's where Pigpen got its name.
You were dirty
because of how dirty I was.
Uh-huh.
That was one of my later questions for the episode, was how that came about.
Yep, that's where the name come from.
Now
So
I know.
when I did the 1-ton swap, 8 lug, Pigpen, that was where I was at. So my Instagram page, and I have a Facebook page for it, which I don't really do anything on. I need to get back to it, but
You say you have a Facebook page too?
I do.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Nope.
Well,
Let's get it rolling. Let's make it happen.
I've got, I don't know, I think I have over 100 people following my Facebook page.
Wasn't
But-
me. Groups are where it's at on face pages. I feel like,
What the hell?
because then people can like interact on them.
Are we gonna drink a beer yet?
Yeah.
You got the glasses out, and I got
I
excited.
got the glasses out. He's got the beer.
I got the beer.
It's always nice with the in-studio guests when they bring us beer.
This beer provided by 8 Lug Productions on YouTube.
Check them out. Smash the bell. God, I love saying that. I don't know why. I'm just so exciting to me.
Here it is.
But
That's the smallest can ever.
Oh, it's a cold one. All right.
But I wanted to go a little more professional instead of that Pigpen.
Uh-huh.
If I wanted to do anything like collaborate with
Right.
anybody or anything like that.
8 Lug Productions. is a
So
good
I
one.
switched it to productions. That way, if
Not TV.
my videoing
Uh-huh.
went anywhere, it's already kind of in place.
Yep.
So
It's a good idea. What do you got over there, Taxman?
We've got a beer brought to you by 8 Lug Productions.
8 Lug.
Thank you for bringing us presents.
no problem.
We are
Start with beer
drinking a
sausage.
vintage 2020 Evasion Belgian style limited release barrel aged original stout.
So with this Taxman, every year they do a death to taxes.
I feel like
Oh,
I
see
remember
it
us
right
talking
there.
about this.
Taxman Brewing Company.
Yeah.
Is this one you
now
want us to
established.
try?
Do I?
Is this the beer you were talking about wanting us to try?
Yeah, this is one I've had planned to bring to you
For a
guys for a while.
This is their slogan. Taxman Brewing Company is now established and has an appearance that promises permanency?
Okay.
Whatever. But in this
Cocaine?
world, nothing can be said to be certain except death and taxes. What the fuck is that? It's permanency?
Yep. Something like that.
It's like permanency, like it's set in stone.
means,
thing.
yeah, it's set in stone.
I don't know. 12 fluid
That's a word.
ounces, 14% by volume, packaged on 4/9/2020.
Don't you
They're
love when
out
you
of Bargersville, I guess? Bargersville, Indiana.
Don't you love when you run across a word that you say often but have never seen in print, and you're like, "The fuck is
Yeah, I'm
that?"
like, how the fuck do you spell that?
But every year they do
Mush.
death to taxes. They bring in they do their own brews just for that.
That's a small can. Keep that in mind.
And this was, and COVID screwed everything this year, so they wasn't able to do.
Well, fine. Don't hold the glass the right
Tip
way. Then.
the glass.
No, you want to agitate it a little bit.
What?
Yes. Go ahead.
What happened?
Don't you come on our podcast and tell us how to drink beer. Okay, here, let me agitate
We
this
have
shit out of your beer.
Oh God!
There we go.
There you go.
Bubble it up.
It didn't hardly do nothing.
You got such a
he got
bad
all
This-
head.
agitated.
it
You got
is
a bad
strong.
head on
It's
that.
definitely
You want me
strong.
to agitate yours
Oh,
too?
God,
or-
yeah. Don't you dare agitate my stout. Make it all angry.
But yeah, they do special releases just for
Here, let me
the
agitate
death
you a
of
little
Ooh,
Texas.
more.
that's hot.
yeah,
14%.
It's
Ooh, that's hot. Yeah.
God bless it. That's good though. Yep. Okay. Well, please hold while I finish this.
Wow. Ooh, that's got a lot. That's got a lot going on.
That's so smooth, though.
It's so hard to drink a whole can.
Oh, man. It's rich. Ian's done.
Let's go. That's my jam right there. That's good.
Uh-huh.
Bourbon barrel.
You put anything in a bourbon barrel and I'll drink it.
Yep. Shitwater. Bourbon barrel stout.
I'm intrigued. Is it going to work?
Oh, yeah. It works all the time. What you got to do?
Just spin the
beer snob. You got to get the label out.
Oh, photo op.
So then it looks good on the gram.
Yeah.
Damn.
You need to get that shot for the YouTubes.
I don't know why you had to look into the camera.
But look into my eyes.
Like,
was I looking in the camera?
You did the like the sweeping eye glance of like. I felt you looked into my soul there for a moment. And
Yeah. So when I drank this the first time, because it only comes in 2-packs.
What? Two packs?
Yeah, it was like $25 for
No.
a 2-pack. Yeah,
For 2 beers?
for 2 beers.
well, I mean,
Special
technically,
release.
a 14% is like
It's 2 beers in a can.
a couple beers in
Yeah.
one can. So
But I drank the first one by myself, and I was like,
you were fucked up.
I was drunk.
Yeah.
Yes. That would not take much.
If I can drink one beer in a day and be drunk, that's my goal in life. Like
Well, this
that
is-
is why
that
I
will
enjoy
get
this
you there.
stuff.
It's only going to cost you $12.
Anything
$13.
over about 11 to 12% is
So
supreme.
I have a buddy at home that he lives pretty close to Taxman, and he's been to, I think, every Death to Taxes. And he has, like, he'll drink one, and the other
I
one
was
goes
gonna
in
say,
the
I
fridge,
would
and he just
age these.
ages it. And
Oh, man.
We need to get him on this podcast.
I have in the fridge at the house, in the beer fridge,
Mhm.
I have 2 beers in there. One is a New Holland milk stout, Dragon's Milk,
Okay.
the big, like
The
bigger,
tall can or
the
bottle.
bigger bottle.
Yep.
and it's a 2016 vintage.
When do you drink that?
I think we were going to do a 5-year on it.
Oh God.
So 16?
Huh?
You said 16?
10, yeah, it was just came across our 4-year. Like we just crossed the 4-year on it.
Oh, I got
I-
cold chills thinking about
I
it.
think 4 years, 1 year anniversary sounds perfect.
Yes.
Huh?
4 years and 1 year anniversary of the podcast sounds like a perfect time to do it.
It doesn't sound bad, does it?
No,
I
won't be
also
here,
have-
but
I also have a KBS
Oh, get
16
out of here.
sitting right next
Well,
to it.
bring that one.
Both of them are covered
I
in dust.
I have such a hard time aging. Like, just let
I
it
put
sit
it-
back
just put
there.
it in the
I
back of
think,
the
I think
fridge.
it's I
Do
don't
you
put
remember when
enough
we
in
bought
the
those?
fridge.
Yes, because I've got 2 or 3 that we bought that same time.
Yeah, same day. We all went together. That's when I got hooked on craft beers, and we went into.
Steve bought a shopping cart of craft.
We yeah.
No,
legit.
I mean,
and he
no.
lost his whole paycheck.
Yeah,
we spent.
it was a
What did we
lot.
spend? It was like $180 in beer that night.
Yeah.
Something stupid like that. Oh, it was dumb. I spent over $90 by myself. It was like, this is a terrible idea.
It's so easy to go in there though, and $30, and you come
Oh, yeah.
out with
Yeah,
like
but we-
10 beers.
Yeah, we
Yep.
aged up. Yeah, so I aged those 2. I think you've got a couple.
I've got a couple
in the same
1 or
process.
2, if not 3. Yeah,
Yeah. It's awesome. Like, I mean, yeah, it's hard to age beers until you forget about them.
yep. Just put them in
Well,
the back
you
of the
have to
fridge.
have enough beers in the fridge to not see them.
Did I have enough beers?
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
For one guy
I was
that,
expecting a beer fridge in here.
well, you see,
I've got one in that
Wasn't
room.
there a wall that you
Yeah.
were supposed to put a hole
yeah,
in?
there was
looking
supposed to
at
be
it.
a beer fridge like right in this vicinity right here, but then Catherine's Creations came
Yeah.
in next,
Ah.
rented the room next door,
we rented it out.
and they were like, "We don't want to listen to the refrigerator running while we're trying to do our
Well,
art."
Box it in.
That would put the refrigerator in here. I don't know how it would sound. I don't think it'd be bad.
Put it in the closet.
In the
Yeah.
closet, huh?
Hmm.
Or we should leave out where it's at and just go get beers.
Yeah, because my shitty beer fridge in the corner has turned into a
Oh my
craft
God.
beer White Claw
Yeah.
fridge, and then so I got
That's where I get all my beers from.
yeah, it's like craft beer or White Claws,
and then like the good
and
stuff.
then the good stuff's in the glass front fridge, and then
Yeah.
the aged stuff is in the house fridge.
So
And
I
there's
had-
White Claws in
I
that
got like
fridge,
a
too.
little dorm fridge in my garage. That's my beer fridge.
Yeah. The one that you saw in my garage is the fridge that came with the house,
Okay.
and we moved it from inside out to the garage, and then we bought our inside fridge there when we bought the house.
So if anybody
That's
knows
how
of
you
a
do it.
fridge in the Indianapolis area, let me know.
Bro, Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, I need to
Yeah.
get back on there. Well, I don't have a truck. Which that's a
This is
big thing.
true.
That's a
You need
big
that
thing
for
that
a
I'm doing
refrigerator.
right now. I'm in the search in the market for a.
Oh, you just
a
mine's not
3/4
here,
ton.
but you could take it home with you.
What's that?
My pickup.
Oh no, it's half ton.
It'll
That's
tug.
okay.
It'll tug your shit.
It'll tell your shit.
Nah.
It'll tug it. I don't know why you don't think it will tug it.
Oh, I mean, if fucking Ranger would tug
Oh, now here we go.
see?
It
it just won't stop.
Nah, you don't
Oh,
need
yeah.
to stop.
You got
Good-
brakes in the
good
trailer.
Trailer
brakes,
brakes,
you're
yeah.
golden.
4 trailer brakes. You don't need no brakes in the truck.
I get in a bad habit of using my trailer brakes sometimes.
Do ya?
Like I'll be coming up to a light or something and I'll just start and won't even use the truck.
Yours on the
brakes.
dash. Yours integrated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can
It's
adjust
nice.
the gain there too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But we talked about a price,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's come down since then. I've been
Oh.
paying on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
a couple payments.
Yeah. A couple
down-
more payments.
It's down to 40,000 now.
Yeah, it's under 40.
Under 40.
Yeah,
Nice.
it was under 40 to begin with.
Yeah, it's still
See,
under
I'm a
there.
reasonable man.
We're not under
It's
30
a nice
though.
truck.
No,
Have you seen the paint?
I have not even
It is
seen the
ceramic
truck.
coated.
it is ceramic coated.
You haven't seen the truck?
I have not even seen the
Oh, because you
truck.
tugged to the buggy over there with the old C-Class.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yep. I was like, that's weird.
It's on
I've seen
it.
pictures,
Yeah, it's on
I've seen
Instagram.
pictures.
That's what I need in my life.
but
I need one of two things. I either need a bus
I've been trying to sell it.
or a Class
the
C.
truck. Okay, no, we're back to the truck.
I need a bus.
I have a hard on for that 17 plus Super Duty, so I don't know if I can get over that.
Dude,
Then payments, though.
I keep
Yeah.
seeing the Super Duty headlights. The little LED
Uh-huh.
ring on. Oh,
So
Yeah.
good looking.
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go actually going to pick one up tomorrow and doing a test drive tomorrow, as in like Saturday.
You gonna tow with it? Little test tow.
I know, just because I don't have a trailer, and I mean the guy
Well, that'd be
hauls
nice.
the guy hauls fifth wheel with it, so
Yeah.
it's going to do what I need it to do.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that would be. a
I mean
problem.
it's no questions asked.
Super
It's
Duty.
17 Power Stroke. It's diesel, so it'll do tuned, deleted, all the good stuff.
All the good things.
Yep.
We got like
Yeah.
2 things I want to talk about
Okay.
in the last call section.
What do you got on your timer over there?
Yeah, we got time.
I mean, I don't
we're
care.
right at 2 hours.
Are
Right?
we in last call?
yeah.
This is last
Oh.
call.
Last call.
Yeah. In last call.
Sorry.
we finished the beer.
We're gonna have to edit that in post because I'm already out of beer. So
I'll just do it when you go to get the beer. I'll just put the
When I go get the beer.
yeah. When you went over there to get the out of your
yeah.
cooler.
the first thing is here's my outstanding question that I need people's input on.
Okay.
So I'm running 2-inch spacers on the buggy right now
Uh huh.
to get a little.
You're going to kill a bus full of nuns.
I know.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Right. Fuck it. I'm
You're already past that.
On the
Good.
trailer.
As long as it's not puppies, I'm good.
No. Yeah. Save the puppies. Kill the nuns. Life happens.
Jesus.
I don't know what you do there.
Dude, somebody just got triggered.
Yeah, somebody's mad.
Uh-huh.
What do you want? Puppies to die instead? I have a puppy now.
Yeah,
I put a name to it.
Nugget.
So I'm running 2-inch spacers just
Daryl,
to get
wasn't
the
it?
yeah,
Alex
it's
Nugget.
there. It changes every 5 minutes. Running 2-inch spacers to get the wheels out away from the shocks a little better clearance. It works great.
Yep.
So I have the option to re-drill the hubs and rotors on the Super Duty outers.
Mhm.
Easy to do. The drill guide's like $15.
I've got one.
Or
I'm just gonna buy one. It's $15.
or
Or I could run a 2-inch adapter to run an 170 to an 865.
I only have 2.
I only need 2.
I have 2.
So here's the question: do I make, because I'm retubing the axle, so I can make it however wide I want.
Mhm.
Do you make it wide? Like, do you make it wide enough to take up that 2-inch gap
oh
and not need spacers, and then re-drill, or do you make it like a whatever a factory 14-bolt wheel width would be, and
run space.
actually I'm gonna, because the 14 bolt's narrower than a 60,
Yeah.
so it's gonna be modeled off the front, which is
Yeah.
the front 14 is modeled exactly off of a stock GM Dana 60 wheel mounting surface width.
Okay.
So, but now in the rear, I can build it to whatever I want. So, do you build it 2 inches wider and not need the spacers, re-drill and be done?
Downside to
Or
it
you run
is the downside is you can't just the downside is you need to carry a wheel bearing with you that's already drilled. If you drill.
Yeah, but here's my thing. Like,
Or-
let's be
or
honest.
You're going with a bigger shaft. Oh no, never mind.
No.
You're 05, so
Yeah.
you already got the bigger shaft.
It's a unit bearing that is designed factory designed to be under a 19,500
Right.
GVR truck.
Like odds of.
I don't think you're going to fuck too many of them up.
Yeah.
And if you do, I'm going to just park it on a trailer and have a good time.
Right.
So when I first did mine, there were so many people that swore up and down that the unit bearings was the weak link.
Yeah.
That you're going to be going through unit bearings like crazy. That's what everybody wants, the Kingpin or the 90s.
Yeah.
3/4 ton, 1 ton with the spindles. So I even looked at swapping over to the spindles because you can rebuild them super easy because it's like a $10 bearing.
Super easy.
So,
Sure.
But then it's like the whole, like they flipped a page. Like now the unit bearings are the greatest thing there is. Fuck the Kingpin and go 05 plus. So I don't think how much did your buggy weigh?
What was it? 5,000, right at 5,000.
Yeah.
So I'm at 5,600 pounds.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not bouncing off stuff. You will properly, and you will with, will smart.
Yeah, but he built the bouncer.
About the bouncer.
Yeah. I mean, but you heard it though, right?
Yeah.
It's the best sounding V6 V8 wannabe.
Yeah.
Oh God. I don't think I'm gonna have a problem with wheel bearings or unit bearings.
No, I think you'll be just fine.
Best sounding 8-cylinder V6 there is.
Yeah.
So you say 19,000 gross vehicle weight.
Yeah, which is
well, the truck itself weighs 8,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Your buggy only weighs 5.
Yeah.
So,
and those unit bearings are made for the front, which is the fat end.
which is the heavy end.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. Like,
I'd love to know what the front of those things actually weighs. So is that the same unit bearing that's in the truck out here?
no, that's a 550.
That's a 550? Why don't you just get this axle and swap it?
Whoops. My bad.
they wouldn't notice 10 lug to 8 lug or 8 lug to 10 lug.
Adapters.
Yeah. So I didn't look into this,
A
but I
adapter
think
kit.
I read something that says you can take the 8 lug unit bearing and a 10 lug unit bearing and you just bloop, whoop. I think it's the same bolt, 4
Like
bolt
the mounting.
pattern.
Yeah. Same axle, different unit
So
bearing.
so back to the actual spacer, what your question. I think I would build it. So your front, are you running a spacer in the front?
Yep.
Then I would probably build it with the spacer in mind.
To match the
Wait,
front.
Yeah.
so you're running a spacer up front right now?
Yeah, I'm
because
running
he's going
spacers all around.
He's going 170, 6.5, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess I would probably just build it same spec as the front.
Because I mean, your end goal is to have to carry only the one spare, one brake rotor, one caliper, one all that stuff. So yeah, I would think I would just do the rear to match the front.
Could you?
And here's another caveat to that. This is the twist, the plot twist. I did do some looking because Growy was talking about the Reed Super Knuckles.
Yeah.
Reed does make, it's a Super 60 knuckle. It is a Kingpin knuckle that they make a unit bearing, like the unit bearing, the factory unit bearing bolts onto the Kingpin knuckle. So up front, I could switch to, and they're like $450 fucking dollars a piece, but you could swap to those knuckles up front and run a unit bearing up front. So then you would essentially run the exact same axle shaft. The lengths would be different, but it would be the same spline axle shaft up front as you do in the rear. The same unit bearing up front as you do in the rear. The same brake you run up front. So that's back to my two spares. Well, you can literally, it's expensive, but you can buy a $900 set of knuckles and run the same shit front and rear. It's just a different knuckle.
So, actually, who was it that made the comment?
Probably somebody that doesn't know anything.
No, it was. I'm going back to the trail spare stuff. Joe, I don't know how to say his last name. Zump.
Yep.
So I think it was him that said something. Trail tools and what to carry.
Well, if you're asking Joe, it's everything.
Joe carries everything and it fits beautifully.
But, so, like, we're wheeling Attica. You trailered over there. And how much trail spares do you really need to take to Attica?
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand taking all the spares if you're Windrock or Roush or Roush Creek or something like
8-10 hours away.
Yeah. Something you're going to want to wheel. You're going there to wheel 2-3 days.
Yeah.
Whereas Attica, you're trailering it over there. You blow a unit bearing. You get it to the trailer, you load it up, you bring it home.
Yep. And you're not upset about it.
Right.
Yeah.
You blow a brake caliper or something like that. So you don't need all the trail spares for there. Or no trail spares.
Yeah.
But going and how often are you planning on making long trips?
Do you listen to this podcast?
I do.
So I have announced on this podcast
Oklahoma.
these plans next year. I have to go to 5 races.
But you
this
can
country.
go to those in the Silverado
Nope.
and not even take the buggy.
Gotta have the buggy. It's part of my job
Yeah,
description.
he literally, like, the buggy is why he's going.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
See my.
It is the
yeah.
vehicle.
So you can just park it and people look at it and be like, ooh.
Oh, no, like, sort of.
Yeah. It's got to be winch ready, bro.
Oh.
It is the recovery rig.
I didn't. I guess I did. I guess I missed that. I must have been surfing Facebook.
You
when
weren't
said
reading
that.
the fine print. I get it. It happens. Everybody clicks I accept on the disclaimer.
But here's okay. So you're going to trailer it to Oklahoma.
I got plans.
You're going to park it on a hill.
Yep.
You're going to park it behind a tree.
Well, that's the thing. I'm not going to go like rock bounce the shit out of it at these events, theoretically.
Okay.
I don't know. I probably put too much stake in the like, oh, I want the trail spares to match. Because, like, am I going to carry an extra unit bearing? No, because they're $400 freaking dollars.
Well, a factory one. Like, I think I got mine off of Amazon.
I
A
was gonna say,
Timken
I'm
bearing
gonna
for like $150.
Steal one out of the junkyard.
But I have
cheap
to,
money.
yeah, but I have to send it to machine shop and have it
Right.
bored out. And then
That
now
sucks.
I have to drill
And now
it.
you have to re-drill it
Yep.
too. Yep. I
Which
don't know.
is the re-drilling I can do myself.
I
So
have
you
a
have
do
to
that
have
in the garage.
You have to have it bored out because of the
35 spline.
Okay.
The 9904 outer is only 30 spline.
So can you? Do you have to have yours bored?
No.
Okay, yours is already big.
I know
Already
the 5
35.
plus. They're the big ones.
Okay. So yeah, you could literally just buy off the shelf whatever.
Yeah.
So
Run with it.
your front steer is already, you did an 05 plus.
My front steer is a Kingpin GM60,
Okay.
essentially.
And now,
From
all right.
the C or the inner C out is a stock 60. But it's got plated knuckles and high steer and all that, but it's a GM Kingpin 60.
Hell yeah.
It works. I don't know. I just don't know if I want to build the 2 inches into the axle tube or just keep it with an adapter and not re-drill anything.
I wish I was going with you tomorrow.
Why?
Need a video.
Oh, I'll take a video for you. Flying into the truck bed.
You're going to have to get you a nice tripod or something.
Yeah. You want it raw and jiggly?
I just want a whole bunch of 1 to 2 second clips.
Okay. Oh my God. Tally. That's a tally.
That is a reference.
Yep. Are we at 5 or at 5?
We're
We
at
crossed
5.
it. And that he was
That's
very,
actually pretty
You
decent.
were pretty liberal with like you were
Yeah, I think I
not
I-
liberal, you were lenient. There was some leeway there in the beginning.
I put down like 3 at one time. So, but 5 is good.
You weren't here last week, were you?
No, but I listened.
Boy.
Now I don't know how much of it got cut out.
That's the kicker. See, I didn't listen to the post edit. I listened to the OG edit.
I got nothing.
Oh boy. So you know.
Yeah.
The people. know.
So I'm gonna have to look at the post because I don't remember who said it. But somebody's like, you need to talk about the podcast or talk about the what we don't need to talk about. The name that we shall not.
It's a shout out. So
Harry Potter reference.
you're gonna laugh so bad this week when people start bringing it up and then
Billy
just
Phelps.
reference things you've said, and you're like, "What? Oh yeah, I did say something about that."
Billy Phelps mentioned it, and my answer was no, absolutely not.
They don't need to talk about it.
Do not need to talk about that.
Are you sure?
Yeah, Scott Martin agreed with me. No,
No.
no,
Y'all are missing out.
no, we're not.
Y'all are missing out. No, thank you.
Yeah,
All right, you want to tell them about the other thing?
This thing?
Yeah, buddy.
So,
And then we'll wrap this bad boy.
yeah, the money I got from said things that we can't talk about. Bought y'all some nice swag.
the money you got from said things you can't talk about.
Yeah. Where do you think all that
getting,
cash come
You're
from?
getting money from that?
I can't talk about it.
No, you got that from the Patreon.
No.
Nah, we spent that elsewhere. We
I
buy
have yet to cash in any of that.
So you're the app we shall not name
Yes.
is bringing you income.
Yeah.
Oh God. Here we go.
Anyway, we got some new swag here. We're going to put on the website. Not swag.
Patreons have already seen this.
What do you call this? Yeah, the Patreons have seen
I think that's swag.
Is it swag?
Isn't swag?
It's sort of a swag pack.
Well, could be.
Let me Google
So
swag.
I threatened to make a certain sticker not too long ago, and I have had it made.
And it's glorious.
It's glorious. And if you're about that
So
nug life,
it can't be swag.
No.
Swag is a curtain or piece of fabric fastened so as to hang in a decorative curve.
You need to go to the Urban Dictionary.
Hold on, here's another one. Arrange in or decorate with a swag or swags of fabric. I don't think the internet knows what I'm talking about. Jiminy Christmas.
It rhymes with thug life.
show does. So I got some stickers, and they say Nug Life.
Swag is usually company branded merchandise and is given away as a form of advertising. Giving away my ass.
The hell we are.
The hell we had. What the hell?
Well, I mean, that's
promotional merchandise.
That's it.
That's not promotional though. You're not promoting.
That's our brand.
This is us.
We should have had hashtag Total Offer Podcast at the bottom of that.
Just real small at the bottom.
Just like the trademark is literally the TOP logo.
Yep. Everybody be cutting that off. You bastards.
Yeah. This is
Did you tell him about it? What it says
the Nug Life. Yeah, I said.
Oh, okay.
If you guys are about that Nug Life like we are, which I know you are because I see you posting in the group, we'll have these up on the website Tuesday.
I'll have them up tonight.
Okay.
If you leave here in a few minutes, I will get them up tonight.
Well, are we not doing a midweek mini?
I don't know. How's that work?
As a Patreon, is that how you say it?
Yeah, patron.
Patron? Is it Patreon or Patreon?
Well, the site is Patreon, but you're a patron.
So you're a patron of Patreon.
No, you're a patron of Total Offer Podcast.
Oh, okay.
You just use Patreon as your
That's the avenue.
That's the avenue.
Gotcha.
I'm ready for the midweek mini to come back.
So what are we doing?
But I know you said
I have one next week.
You have some you're banking them. Have you recorded any?
No,
we don't. We don't.
No.
Have time
So
for
like
that.
the problem is right now is that we've not been able to line up stuff. It's just been a scheduling conflict, and so that was the thing. I'm very ambitious with the time I don't have. Like my grandfather asked me the other night, he's like, "Hey, can you check this out in your spare time?" I just sent him back a laughing face.
What
I'm like,
spare time?
Yeah.
Spare time.
Yeah.
You're funny. And so that seems to be the issue right now. I just want to line up a couple of like good.
We got one next week.
Midweek minis.
Yeah,
next week
you don't have one this week.
Are you sure? You're not doing it. Oh God.
Oh yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah,
That is right.
that's what I said.
We got to get Jeremy home. So you guys are not getting a midweek mini. I'm sorry.
I'm not going hunting in the morning, so that's good. I got my buck last week.
I feel like Jeremy's gonna take me to the house, and then I'm like gonna get out of the car and call him, and be like, all right, well, let's go home.
Yeah. You're gonna talk for the next hour and 10 minutes.
I'll make sure you make it, buddy.
That's how it works, man.
I've got a Starbucks triple shot in the cooler.
That's some good stuff right there.
That and the podcast. That's all you need in your life.
Well, I'm all
Think I
caught
can
up in the podcast.
You think I can have the Patreon up before you hit the state line?
Ooh, that's a challenge.
Oh, I can't.
Shit, by the time I hit the state line, I'm damn near home.
That's
Not home, but by my...
That's what I'm saying. 45 minutes? Oh, you're going south to the state line. Oh,
Yeah.
I meant just 74 to the state line.
Yeah, that would be
That'd be like 25 minutes.
I can go that way.
Yeah.
And I probably
63.
should go that way home is 74 east to
63.
63 south. Yeah.
It's not a bad route. That's probably better than running back down
Just
49.
straight and long.
Yeah.
Amen. Where do you turn on 63 to
Right there,
go
Clinton.
east? Oh, at Clinton.
I don't. Yeah.
Do you want to give everybody your address so we can check it out on Google Maps?
How far is it?
I didn't think so.
Well, I live an hour and 45 minutes from there.
Oh boy.
I'm headed
From
to
there?
my parents' house.
Oh, you're going to your parents?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're not even going home.
No, home is like two.
I was wondering why you're like, okay, I'm
220?
heading your way. I'll be there in an hour
Yeah.
and 15 minutes or something. I was like, oh, that's pretty quick.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did the whole. I was a vlogger today,
Yeah.
but when I got here
You
to
went
Ian's
full like,
house,
You fangirled.
when I got to Ian's house, I totally forgot about it. Like I have my little tripod and all that shit in the car, and
Should be
yeah,
vlogging while we're doing the podcast, like
Well,
mid podcast.
you got here, you
throwing a couple
fangirled out
scenes.
and done.
I had intentions, and that's what sucks about YouTube too.
It's hard.
It's hard. Like you have
to remember.
So the people that do it, they do it.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's on the back burner. It's second or third. So I don't think about it.
Yeah.
So
see, that's what sucks. Like that's the same with me. I'm like, I'll do something like, oh, damn it, I was going to video that.
Yes.
Like today, I was trying to put that thing. And I was like, I was going to take a video of that.
And we get here. I think we pulled up in the driveway, and he's like, "Shit, we didn't finish that video." Yeah, it's fucking dark now, buddy.
It's dark, and we are.
It's not in yet, so yeah, I'll get it finished.
You haven't.
I was going to put it up tonight. I was going to put up a short one tonight, but never mind.
Scratch that.
So yeah,
tell them where they can go find all the merch.
www.totaloffroadpodcast.com.
Where can they find some good YouTube videos?
At 8 Lug Productions on YouTube and Total Off-Road Podcast on YouTube. You can't find videos there. You find this good podcast.
They find some videos eventually.
Some audio. What else you want?
I don't know.
You want them Instagrams?
Yeah, give them the grams.
Check us out on Instagram at total_offroad_podcast. You can check out my personal page at low_KEE_XJ. You can check out Ian at offroad_Ian. Also, check out the Trail Riders page on Facebook. And if you want to become a patron at www.patreon.com/total offroad podcast. I tell you where else we can find it. You can find me, but I'm not allowed to talk about it.
That is a good fact. Jeremy, where can we find you on the Instagrams?
On the Instagrams, I am 8lug, one word, or it's the number 8, LUG_Pigpen. YouTube is 8lug Productions. Facebook, I have it, but I don't use it much, but it's just 8lug Pigpen. That's about it.
That's all your internet.
I do have the unnamed
You got
app.
Teespring?
So Teespring, I think, kind of screwed me.
Welcome to Teespring, because we did the same thing. I do own a shirt from you from Teespring,
and I appreciate that. You and one other person.
Hey,
but they took down my ones that had Jeep in it.
Yep.
So
branding.
Ian didn't care.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
The one I think the shirt you got was just get out there and wheel.
The one I have is a get out and wheel, and it has like 8lug Productions on the back. Yep.
That's my most comfortable shirt that I've got as far, and I have one other shirt, but
it's in orange, so that's perfect for me.
Get out and wheel. That's all you need.
Get out there and wheel. Yeah.
That little nug life, and you're good to go.
Done. Send it.
Okay.
Peace.
Who says that?
Old guys.
Okay.
That's why we have a catchy tagline, so we don't say things like peace.
That's all you're getting this week, and we'll catch you on the trail.